Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Believe it or not, we are still flying 250 miles above your imagination in the International Fake Station. We're still trying to get out of the black hole. Something Wong is working on that. So hopefully here in just a little bit, he'll get the lights back on and everything will be back to normal. And I'll not have to come from this weird interdimensional space that I seem to have to come to you from right now. It's really kind of spooky out here. So how is everybody tonight? Sorry, I had to postpone last night. I had something come over me that it was just, oh my God, one of the most miserable things ever. I had this lower back thing going on. I could not get any relief from it. I couldn't sleep. Oh my God, it was terrible. And I didn't sleep through the night. I was like, this sucks. So finally I went outside in the sun and sat in this chair and I fell asleep in the sun. And when I finally woke up, man, I was right as rain. So maybe there was something to the energy of the sun that I needed or something. I don't know what it was, but it was really, wasn't real tickled with it. So here I am. So there was supposed to be a debate yesterday on Jared with Shawn Hawkins. And wow, it never took place, man. It never took place. And here's why. You remember a couple of weeks ago, we got this whole thing with Shawn in an email saying that, why are you backing out of this? And I'm like, I never backed out of anything. I'm still waiting for this to go, right? Jaron contacted me prior and told me, the right date and everything. I don't know where this is all coming from. That was his first attempt to try to get out of it, okay? So his second, and keep in mind, he's the one that set this up. He's the one that set it up. I'm ready to go. He doesn't bother. That doesn't bite. So that one doesn't work for him, right? So then at the last minute, as people were waiting in the stream, there's Truthers Hour of Comedy. I'm going to give a shout out to everybody. Mike, good to see y'all. Saddlebum, Jeff Gashead. Hang on just a second though. I got to get through this thought. This is so this ass hat says there's not going to be a debate tonight. I already canceled. And it's like, when did you cancel? Jaron pops into the chat and he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You canceled. He says, I emailed you. Well, listen, Jaron made it clear up front. Get a hold of him through Telegram or messaging. That's what I do. And he doesn't, he's like me. I fucking hate email. But, you know, I've learned to kind of start messing with it a little more. Yeah. So then he just popped out of it. And this, I want you all to see this really bizarre exchange because I mean, I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? Where is my chat that I'm looking for? There it is. There it is. So I'm going to bring up this. This is from, and now think about this. And I'm going to show, if you didn't see the chat, I've got some screenshots of the chat too, where he was just going, no, there's not going to be one tonight. And I'm like, what? I'm like, holy shit. Why? You know, what's going on? He said, I already emailed Jaron. So he says, let's see, something about 11th or 18th. So he said, this is the 18th is fine. Thanks. Okay. This is June the 7th. Okay. And then he says, okay, great. We'll send you the link here. Right. And then Jaron was saying, so this is where they were already collaborating to have the, oh, I'm not even showing it. My bad. Do you? Hang on. Why is it not letting me share? What's up? Can't get that. But your browser blocked the screen. Why did my browser block the screen? There we go. I don't know. Computer glitchies. Okay, so it says fine. He says what? So then he said, now this is prior because the thing was from the 18th. Okay, the 18th. That's when the debate's supposed to go on, right? He knows this whole time. So he, at the last minute, emails Jaron, knowing Jaron doesn't check his email. Jaron even said, why wouldn't you tell me here? He said, I told you that I don't look at email. He says, I don't give a shit what you say, coward. So wait a minute, you backed out and you're calling the host of the show a coward. How fucking delusional do you have to be? How delusional do you have to be? And it comes after some pretty worrisome stuff in his community post. I mean, I've told you, he doesn't look well. I mean, look at this guy. Let me present this for a second. He's changed his name. Okay, now he's Geezer One Ready. And he's no longer got the little shill logo for his name. I had a hell of a time finding his channel. And the whole thing is playing gray zone warfare and helping viewers with tasks. That's the whole thing. That's what he's going to be doing. He said he's not going to do the flat earth shit anymore, but look at this fella, does not look good. He looks like he's in rough shape. Now, something I want to point out, this is a man who has openly rejected God and mocked God. And it's put him in a hell of a little bit of a bind. Let's see here, just a second. There was where is his? Did he take him down already? Oh, this one. Okay. So this one here he had. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit for y'all. There. He put in here, he says, so he said he tried it for, he says, I needed new look, new day. Started out, I won't be giving any more of my energy to flat earthers and their insane cult. That was on 2 days ago. And then he says, new look, new day. So he's got a new avatar, the name's changed, everything. And then his next one was, I need a catchy title for my new gaming channel. Please post your suggestions. So now this is a gaming channel. He says, I tried to stream Gray Zone Warfare, but I get too much lag in the game. If anyone knows how to fix this, please let me know. So he wants to have a game channel now, but he can't stream because he doesn't have the right equipment to stream video games. Cool. So he says, sorry, I haven't, and this is yesterday or a day or so ago. He says, sorry, I haven't gone live, but again, I find myself depressed and without hope. I cannot get the help I need from the people in charge of giving it. I've tried to contact Meals on Wheels 4 times and nobody has returned my calls, and I'm more than likely going to starve for the last 2 weeks of the month. Also, I'm completely out of weed, so I'm settling in long, hard depression. I hate how my life has turned out. Sorry. And I've tried streaming Gray Zone Warfare, but the game lags so badly the game is unplayable, so doing something besides flat earth bullshit is out of the question. I effing hate my effing life. And I'm like, that's fucking sharp, man. But I told him I was trying to be a little bit, I said, it could very well be karma setting you straight. You always get back from the universe that which you put into it. You seem to put a lot of negativity into the universe and therefore negativity finds you. Maybe you should concentrate on being a more amicable person. And that's not bad advice. I didn't say anything nasty at all. I'm just pointing that out. You have openly rejected God. You said you don't need God anymore or at all. You can do it all your own. I think God's kind of showing you that that's not true. And now he's fighting with FTFE. Okay, this is from FTFE official. It's hard to see on this. Hang on a second. I had it on my phone. He said, what happened to your channel? You told Jaron, it said you told Jaron you were done with, yet here you are. So he must have been fighting with Fight the Flat Earth. Or, yeah. Oh, there's PJ. I'm sorry. I didn't see you guys back there. My bad.
We're just hanging out. You can put us back in the background if you want to. We're just hanging.
No, it's cool, man. Cool.
How you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah. We're doing real good, man.
He's Shawn, completely, like you said, completely delusional, man. And you know them comments he'd been making.
Oh,
about I hate my life. I've got no weed and all that. It's pure self-pity, and
it is.
And he looks that way, like Vicky was just saying. He looks that way because of bitterness. He's bitter. And that puts lines in your face, dude.
He lives in the state of California that is like the biggest welfare give out state that there is. I mean, that's almost the only way people out there are able to survive at all. Okay.
Yeah.
So the people have been conditioned to be dependent upon these government agencies to provide for them, like a surrogate mommy and daddy. That's exactly what they want you to think. But because that state has gone so fucking broke with all their liberal policies and shit, he's not getting the supplemental mommy and daddy tit that he's used to getting. And that to me shows that, see what happens when you put your faith in men?
That's right. That's right, dude. That's right. You can only rely on yourself at the end of the day. It's yourself and God. God first, then yourself. You know?
Hey, PJ, you did a really great job yesterday trying to keep that whole ship sailing together. I don't know who you were. I think you were talking. I think it was Craig.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
We were screaming. We were all screaming in the chat. We're like, we have to do this again.
I know.
We really have to do this again. Come on.
Do you know, I didn't really want to moderate, but I thought, no, somebody needs to. I didn't think Craig would like it, but I did it. But to be honest, the debate hadn't even started. They just started talking, and then that was it. They were talking. There was no structure. There was no format to it. It was just, and he just did the same as normal. And I actually was fair. I told Flats to be quiet twice to let Craig talk, so I wasn't showing bias. I mean, he wasn't over talking like Craig was over talking him, but I just did it to show that I wasn't being biased.
I mean, moderating is
he turned it into his arena.
Of course.
See?
Of course.
That's why he didn't like that when we had to do it with the format on Jaron.
That's right, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the moderating part is probably one of the hardest things you're ever gonna have to do, and like, I mean, it's a shit show every single time. I mean, we've been doing this. I've been doing this fucking gig trying to figure out this reality we live in for almost 10 years. And like, it's just a moderator is probably the most, I look up to the moderators the most, you know? So like, you know, and it's like, yeah. And just, it sucks.
It does, especially because, yes, I've got a bias. I'm obviously on Flat's side. I've got a bias, but I've got to not show that bias. Do you know what I mean? And it's hard. It is hard. But I mean, I've only done a few. I'm not really a moderator. I've done about what? That's my fourth with Flats. That's fourth.
Well, here's the bugger of it, and I think you should stick to it because, like, the more, like, again, the more I mean, I hate using words like we look more reasonable, but we actually are more reasonable on our side.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and like, it's like the more we do that, the more we're getting people to actually activate their senses. Yeah. You know, and we know what that means in the greater topic. You know, so like,
the poll, did you see what happened on that one with Witsit and
They flipped it.
Yes,
they totally
sir.
flipped the whole damn thing was flipped.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even believe that that moderator, the guy with the quartering, like I read that thing that he did. He was like, shit, I'm team Flat because this other side is insanity.
That is insane, though.
I think that's what he meant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that behavior, and that's what gets it. And it's like with Shawn, dude, I wish you all the luck in the world with your Geezer One Ready gaming channel.
Geezer One.
I mean, it's really bad. Even your own people don't like you.
It is.
You know, I mean, you've just become to be such a vile, toxic entity that I looked at even debating him. I was like, okay, I'm just going to crush him once and for all again. And, you know, and then that's it. I'm done. Stay down on the mat. Okay. And it looks like he is going ahead and staying down on the mat. You know, go ahead, go do your gaming channel. I think that's probably better for you. Maybe it'll grow bigger than what you got because you don't really bring anything to the table other than calling people names and shit. So, vile demon, be gone.
Yes, exactly. I see the thematic in your tile. I did not know about this guy. And like I watched one little thing that you did with him like a week ago or whatever. I was like, hey, this guy is probably the worst, but he's probably I don't want to go after him because he's troubled. Yeah. And so you're like trying to figure out like, shit, I can't even get mad at this guy because it looks like some sort of trope. Some sort of trope that I've known in all of these years, right?
I almost have this. I get you know how the character Gollum in the Lord of the Rings is. You almost have a little bit of fucking sympathy for him, right? But that goes away so quick because he is just such a vile and wretched creature.
I'd be willing to talk to him like Michael did it. Michael messaged him once and says, look, listen, why don't we just talk one-to-one, just normally, no name callings, nothing like that. Just have a chat, you know what I mean? See what happens. All he did was say, you fucking liar, fucking this, fucking all you do is just lie about flat earth and you know it's globe and all that shit and you're just lying, but he was offering to help, you know what I mean, and have a talk with him, and he just rejected it. He's rotten to the core. Yeah. It's hard to even imagine that. I mean, I know God can save him, obviously, but if there was anybody that God couldn't save, it'd be someone like Shawn because he's rotten right to the core. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very tricky with that sort of shit. And I'm telling you, like, I think a lot of the people in the flat Earth community we're empaths. You know, everyone's a little bit narcissistic, but we're mostly empaths, and we try to look at things open-mindedly, right? And like, you know, and I get this stuff when I see what Shawn was. I'm like, oh shit, it's that bad. And there's varying degrees of these. You know, there's cats that are anti flat Earth in the community that are doing sort of varying degrees of cooperation, right? And I'm like watching that. I'm like, so what is this? Like, is it just a gig for you? Like, are you like, do you care about like what you actually see or what you do? And like after like, especially the last 2 weeks, and like today was a big day. there's a lot of like real big logic that's coming out that we haven't really even thought about.
Right,
Because
right.
just the collective the collective conversation is coming together now, and we're getting up. Weiss lives north of me about an hour, and we talk about 30%, like 30%. Then it's gonna go rampant, and like we're kind of at that place now where it's getting kind of wild, and it's going up. And now we have to figure out how do we do this with people that we used to be them. We used to be Globers. We used to be all that stuff.
Yes,
how do we do it? How do we do it?
Hold on. We did. And real quick, before we go on any further, I want to say, because you brought up the thumbnail too, and I want to give a shout out. Mike LeBrash, and also, who is also the Truthers Hour of Comedy, is the creator of that thumbnail. I said, hey, could you do, and I just described it, and he said, yeah, I could do that. And he said, what kind of scene are you looking at? And I was like, okay. So I pulled up some screenshots from like The Exorcist and shit, and I gave it to him. He's really talented. So anybody out there, he's reasonable. So if you need some good artwork or something like that done for thumbnails, get a hold of me, man. He's coming here to go to the Midgets versus the Dwarfs wrestling match in Woodstock, Virginia on the 29th of this month. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna go over and see,
wait, where is this? Is this in Virginia somewhere? Like what?
Yeah, in the Shenandoah Valley. Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be totally tight, man. It's gonna be cool. We went last year. It came across my Facebook, and I was like, "What?" And I was like, "We gotta go to this." And like a bunch of people, I think that was the first time they'd ever come through here, and you heard people in the audience, this is awesome, I'm coming every year, and shit like that. Yeah, I mean, this one guy next to me says flying midget.
Hey, I'm putting something in the chat real quick. Just, this is one of those things. I did a whole thing. I'm Lowry, but I'm also the Reckoner, so like people don't understand me, I put a link there. That's your channel, Sovereign Unchained, you're in there. This is basically a get past the initial, like, if you're listening to this for the first time in the future, because I think most people in here are already here, but in the future, check out, I've got a link there. It is basically like how to get over the hump of like everyone that's censoring you and YouTube and everything else about, and it gets you straight to the things that I believe in, and like, so it's in the chat. Grab it if you can. In the future watchers, that's it. Yeah, there you go.
So one of the things I wanted to point out, like what you were saying, is that yes, we used to believe the Earth was a globe. However, how many of us were vehement flat Earth haters?
All of us.
I wasn't. I was like, my response to it at first was, well, that's just fucking silly.
That's what I was. I was like, that's dumb.
Serious,
that's
I was
dumb.
like, you can't be serious. And they were like, yeah. And I realized that they were deadpan serious about it. And I was like, well, maybe there's something to look into here. And yeah, at first I wanted to reject it, but there was no way I could refute it. And I was like, holy shit, this has all just been a mental psyop.
Right.
This whole thing is a mental psyop.
Dude, I mean, for me, it's just like, I came across it because I was looking into conspiracy theories. I was doing the Illuminati stuff, all the symbology, that kind of thing, and I just came across Flat Earth. And I mean, I chuckled and I thought, oh, why not? Let's have a little look. And straight away, I didn't have no cognition or anything. The penny dropped. The penny just dropped. That was it. I knew it. I just knew. Wow. I hadn't even done an observation, nothing. I just thought, wow. When I was a kid, I wondered why people could stick to the bottom of the globe.
So PJ, your intuition kicked in right away. Mine was pretty quick too. It was really quick. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Did you have that effect?
Like going over a hill. It was like, whoa. Yeah. It's like, holy shit. And then it all clicks. It all starts.
Sorry, just say again for a sec.
What?
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't hear what you said, Larry, because I buzzed that. I roboted out for a sec.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, I had a moment. The best story I have on the whole thing was like, I remember telling myself that it was bullshit for a hot minute, And then like a couple months later, I'm sitting in a bar with my laptop researching all sorts of stuff, right? And when it finally broke on me, I was like, fuck. I went outside and like I'm not a religious person. I went outside and I pointed in the sky and I said, I'm sorry to whoever I'm supposed to be talking to. I don't know. You know, but I was like, fuck. It was that harsh. He was that fucking harsh.
Well, see, this is why I have to wonder, how could somebody, all right, for instance, let's take a look at some of these, and I'm going to call them what they are. They're flat earth haters. And I think that they're part of a fucking an intelligent psyop. Okay. I think they're out there to do what they do because this is too dangerous for people to know. Okay. And this is why, you know, people are targeted with frequencies and shit. And I do believe that I am one of those people.
Yeah, we get it too a lot.
Yeah, so I had a conversation with you in Messenger, and I believe it exactly. I know exactly what you're saying, dude. I think so as well.
So the whole thing is this: is how could somebody go through and debate and look into it as much as they would have to, for like Toon, like Craig from Fight the Flat Ass, whatever, you know. So how could you go and see all this for all these times and still use your own lame excuses that hold no credibility and still continue to be seething? And that's the best way I can look at it, like seething. I have seen Toon like literally fucking hissing on camera over it.
It almost feels like that, doesn't it? It almost feels like that.
I've even seen. Hi to everyone here, Lowry, PJ, and Sovereign.
How you doing, John? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm well. I hope you guys are doing great. I've even seen someone, like, since we're talking about hissing, I've seen someone, every time they lied, it was like they were sticking out their tongue like a snake. So these sort of habits, I think, will manifest, especially if let's say if the devil is true, right? The same Satan that tempted Jesus in the desert. Then he's going to exhibit sort of behaviors, and he's going to be the one that's lying and behind all the lies. So I think he's going to be driving the hate as well and all the seething.
Yeah, I had a go ahead. Minions, Legion, operating through minions, man. That's what I'm seeing. And the whole thing is you can see a deterioration of their health and their physical appearance. It's really amazing. Because you go and watch over a period of time how they've like deteriorated in a kind of like how you remember Palpatine. He was just a normal old looking guy. And then he turned into that hideous fucking beast because of harboring all that hate, harboring all that negativity.
It manifests physically. Bitterness.
He manifests
physically. Yeah, absolutely.
Taking back, by the way, like I've been chatting with you forever. I've never talked to you online live. So awesome. I was gonna ask. I was gonna like. I came on to Sovereign just a couple of days ago, but one of my big rants is like the oldest story of all time. I don't know anything about religion, or I consider the Bible a very valuable historical piece of literature, and I like to learn stuff from it, but it's also written by men, so I'm very careful when I negotiate that thing, right? You know, but what we're really talking about is like when I was ranting 3 nights ago, and it was on this channel. Why are we talking about reptiles, and why does that subject keep coming up? Can anyone give me a solid reason why it does, or is it a deflection? Because for whatever reason, the oldest story of all time is about a snake buffooning someone who isn't a snake. And if anyone has a good answer for that, I'd like to know, because like a bunch of people are talking about it now.
This is the way I look at it, Lowry. I look at it like this, man. There is no way that a deception as huge as we have, and of course where we actually live is a huge deception. There are others, but they're built off of that one. That's not humanly possible to be able to convince through just fucking word magic and illusory magic the entire population of this earth to believe the antithesis of what's real.
Mhm.
Okay. Now,
Mhm.
that cannot be concocted by just mortal men.
No.
Mortal
No.
men are used to put that into fruition. But this
Absolutely.
comes from a dark realm,
Mhm.
powers and principalities. You
So-
can't there's no human possible way that men, just ordinary men, could conceive of and bring that to fruition. But just like every other lie, it crumbles apart. And the problem with it is that is, in my opinion, the cornerstone foundation of all of the rest of the deception.
It feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It does. It absolutely does. Look at the thing.
I
Like,
never
for-
would have thought I would have been talking about this stupid subject 20 years ago. I never would have thought about it. It was like, what are you talking about, reptiles? We talk about reptiles. Like, whatever. It's like there's just this weird dichotomy that exists in the world. I'm like, I'm not saying that they're there, but it's like, why does it keep coming up?
I have
In all sorts of fucking like history, literature, whatever, even if it's a lie, there's still dragons and shit.
yeah.
Why does it keep coming up?
It's a great point. The creator created snakes. I've seen snakes that are great friends where they're kind to humans and they make great pets. So perhaps what happened is that this Satan himself used the snake because he thought maybe that was an appropriate animal for him to enter in. Like he kind of overtook the snake's mind. Like it could be literal or it could be
Well,
metaphorical.
I think it doesn't say snake.
Oh, okay.
It says
reptile. Is it reptile or is it
serpent. Serpent. Okay,
Yeah.
now we automatically assume that the word serpent means a snake,
Snake,
but
yeah,
it's just a type of serpent. A serpent refers to that's a reference to any reptilian creature is a serpent.
Yeah, and I think when people look, I've read also that ancient cultures used the serpents or reptiles as insult for humans when they acted like reptiles. So, for instance, I think people noticed that reptiles were cold. They would sometimes kill their own. So I remember cultures would use that reptile reference for when they wanted to maybe insult someone. Or
taking back.
What is like what do we call a very, very harsh form of rule? Draconian.
oh, draconian. Okay.
Why do we use the word draconian?
Yeah, that's interesting.
There's another bit too, like the metaphorical aspect of I would call it just the dichotomy, the standard dichotomy of at least this realm we live in is like, you've got a guy, an animal that slithers at the lowest form of the dirt. Whether he was cursed down there or not, I don't know.
This is interesting, Larry. This is interesting because it doesn't, right? It's after the serpent encouraged Eve to sin, to eat of the fruit, and then Adam did. Then when God came down and to punish them, he said to the serpent, "On your belly you will go." So that implies possibly that it wasn't. It might have had legs because it says, "On your belly you will go." You know what I mean? So that it implies that he wasn't on his belly to start off with.
I mean, yeah, my impression was if you're even metaphorically, if you're going to shove someone down to the lowest form of living, you live down in the dirt.
Yeah, it says it eats dust.
I don't know. Like I've never been in church or doctrine or anything. I appreciate the Bible. I appreciate it. Everything all the way back. I appreciate after this whole flat earth thing, man, I'm like,
well, it does
this place was made,
it does. Listen, this is
So-
for sure. Once you realize that this is a creation, I mean, that's what it brings you right to, that this is created. This is actually, wow, holy cow, right? It's
yes.
It takes away, is there a doubt of a creator? Right? All that doubt that was there went away from me. I'm like, I can't deny that. I cannot deny that. There's no possible way that I can deny that. knowing
Dude, there's a
what I
whole
know.
collection of people of us that are going through our own versions 2.0 because we were like, holy shit. You know, like a lot of people didn't know. A lot of people didn't know how to look at it. But I was like, you know, all of us kind of went through this similar thing. I was like, shit, I'm in high school again. I'm in high school again.
So much to relearn.
Yeah, I'm down here 50 years old. I'm like, shit.
Yeah,
The world is
Raj.
new again.
How you doing, Robo Raj?
I'm doing good, guys. I just wanted to say
No,
congratulations to PJ on his birthday present. I got to saw his little stream. That was nice.
Oh, brilliant, man! Yeah, I'm not on it now. I'm just waiting for the HDMI splitter to come so I can put 2 monitors on, and then what?
Your desk.
And the desk, yeah. Vicky said the desk coming tomorrow. Vicky's here behind me. She's not at home. She's here.
Hey,
Say hi.
Hi, Vicky.
I was just wanting to put one other thing in. I've owned reptiles. I've had pythons, constrictors. They'll turn on you, dude. Their nature is very venomous. They'll act like your friend until it's time to eat. That's all I got to say about that.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I know that voice. Is that from Founded Earth Brothers? Wait, I know that voice. Roger.
No, I'm not from Founded Earth. No, I'm on Blastoids every once in a while. PJ.
Oh, okay, that's probably where I recognize you from. Yeah, that's
I started out with Nathan Oakley way back in the day. So.
Oh my God, you got a hard starter on that one.
Yeah, like it's measured flat, mother. You know, that's it.
Yeah,
that's the one. That's the one.
So I'm glad you guys all enjoyed the Dave versus Austin. I think Dave wasn't ready for Austin.
Oh, no, he wasn't. No. He claimed victory though. He claimed victory.
Oh, they all do that, don't they?
Oh, every time.
Never heard a global 7.
Never lost. They've never lost one. They've never lost it. They've never lost a debate yet.
Never.
And listen, this is why I titled tonight's stream what I did. It's because, dude, they are cringing away and seething and writhing, just like, man. If you ever saw The Exorcist when he's throwing the water on her, the power of Christ compels you, right? Mm-hmm. And she's like freaking out, going, you know, like that. That's what it's almost metaphorically. That's what I see in my head.
It's true. Absolutely. I can explain why that happens. You guys want to hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So the creator knew we were going to be under attack from a liar. So the creator actually provided protection. So when we put on the protection when we're under attack, we can withstand those attacks. But people who do not wear the protection when they're under attack, it's like a literal knife is touching their skin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they run, they scream. So thankfully, in the Bible, it actually tells us what the protection is. If we put it on, we can go into the deepest, darkest places of this world and save people who don't have the protection.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect example is, what's his name? Remember he went into Hacksaw Ridge, Desmond Dawes? He went in to save 75 people without a weapon, and all he had was the armor of God with him.
He's from the valley. He's from just about an hour and a half south of here. A place called Lynchburg. That's where he was from.
So it's so important. And Lowry, there's just one more really important thing I want to share with you guys, because Lowry, like you said, this is a 2.0 for us, right? So I think the best way for us to get to a full 2.0, and this is just my opinion, is what the Bible says in a way. In the parable of the sower, it talks about some minds are like dirt with. Oh, hold on. I covered this in my book. So essentially, look at your mind as like a computer. What we have is we were using man-made operating systems, and man-made operating systems have backdoors. They have zero-day malware, meaning there's no solution for their attack. There's also the backdoors by the programmers, and vulnerabilities. So that means, just like in Matrix, when someone is threatening the Matrix, Agent Smith can override that person and try to attack the truthers. So that's what's happening in our realm. We have people who aren't, they're still in the Matrix. So whenever, let's say they get too close to the truth, perhaps maybe the devil, because they have lies in their mind. Think of it like this: you have you buy a brand new computer, and then you run a scanner and you find that you have at least one malware in there. Now that computer is no longer safe because someone can log in remotely and take over your computer and use your computer to attack other computers on the network. So we have to think of the same thing as maybe on a spiritual level. People are going to be used to attack you and your family because they're being taken over. Do you know what I mean? They haven't removed the lies from their mind that allow that. So that what I want us to all do is just go through our mind and remove all lies. And you guys have been doing an amazing job. And you guys are such blessings to your family in this world. Thank you for all you guys do. And I hope we can all continue to take this on.
Appreciate that.
You too, bro. You too, bro.
That's awesome. That's awesome, John. I say it along the same realm. I'm like, think of your mind as a big giant whiteboard. Okay. And then look at everything that's on that whiteboard and start erasing every fucking thing that you didn't put there. Okay. And what you end up with is a really lot more room for reality.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny?
Nice analogy,
David. It's like my dad said something exactly like that, except like, you know, a hayseed in the middle of Kansas. He's like, you got a truck, and every time you hit a bump or something, it goes in the back of the truck. Every time you hit something, it goes in the back of the truck. As long as that truck is still running, you have won. You know, and that like it's such a hayseed like approach to it, because I live in New York City, which is absolute opposite of that. But it's like I get it. It's like, oh, well, we ran over that gas can, we put it in the back of the truck. We ran over that cement block, we're still rolling, put it in the back of the truck. If it's still rolling, then you kind of got yourself up and over. You know, that's always been my bit on the whole thing. I don't know.
Well, think about the truck, though. Let's look in the back of it after you've driven several hundred miles. How much of that shit do you really need? So get rid of it.
Yeah, then you can dump it. You can dump it after like so many miles. You can just see you later.
Okay, I don't need this. I don't need this rusty muffler. That's not helping me. None of the shit that I put in here is helping me at all.
I just got it ultimately upside down, though. What you just gave to me, it's like, oh, that could also be the opposite, but like works both ways. Because you're holding on to shit as opposed to letting go of shit, which is also like, fuck.
People spend 99% of their time, the average person spends 99% of their time in a place that doesn't exist. Okay. They're either speculating of the future or reminiscing on the past and never focused on the perpetual now.
Right.
Okay. So, this is where they got you. This is where you got to get out of that. You really got to get out of that. You got to ask yourself, why do I want to feel the pain I felt before? Why do I want to feel the pain? Why am I anticipating this? And so what this works out into is you find out that just about everything that people fear has not happened. It's just stuff that they think could happen or might happen.
Yeah, almost like it's not even there.
Time fearing shit that's not relevant.
That's right.
Even death. Nobody gets out of this motherfucker alive. Nobody gets out alive.
It's like, what choice do you have anyway? So, well, why fear? Like, just have no fear.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I still fear dying. I mean, I know where I'm going. Well, I hope I know where I'm going, but I fear the act of dying, taking that last breath. And just knowing I'm going, it scares the crap out of me when I think about it. It
probably scared the crap out of you when you took your first breath, too.
Yeah, true.
The reality of it is, I read this little story. It was about Alexander the Great. And supposedly when he died, he had a request that he wanted his doctors to be his pallbearers.
Right.
He wanted all of his gathered treasures and loot to be scattered about through his whole funeral procession. And he wanted his arms sticking out of the burial casket with the palms up. And they asked him why he wanted all this. He says, that was to signify, I want the doctors to carry be my pallbearers because to show that they can't stave away death. Okay.
Okay.
He said, I want my riches to be spread because to symbolize that I can't take any of that shit with me.
Right.
And his palms open upward to the sky to signify that he came into this world empty-handed and he's going back out of it empty-handed.
Yeah.
It's a nice analogy.
I get that. It is a nice analogy. It's brilliant.
Isn't that funny? Like how weird that it's like if you actually get to that point where like you realize you can't take any, like I have my guitar, my ES225 1959 semi-hollow body Gibson guitar is the most beautiful thing I've ever had. I don't get to take it. I don't get to take it. I don't get to take it with me. It's gonna go on to somebody else, you know, and like that, you know, like, and when I've kind of figured that out, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna have that for my whole life. I'm gonna have to move on to like, you know, something else, and then I'm not even gonna have a relationship with a material object. Which, by the way, it's a beautiful material object, but it's made by a man, and it's just land based. You know,
it'll succumb to entropy as well. You know,
certainly. I mean, like, every time I see a guitar, I want to play it. But it's like I don't get to take any of this shit. Like this broadcasting studio I have 4 widescreens, fucking ring lights, and I'm like, this is the most awesome thing ever because I'm around my fucking favorite people ever. But then guess what? All of this shuts down after a while, and that's not even being like down. It's just like whatever we're talking to now on. There might be like 6 months from now where we aren't talking to anybody. We probably don't even have a cell phone. I don't know. I'm just saying, right now we're hyper connected.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
you know,
it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. Although it's allowing and making for this free exchange of ideas over vast distances with a very eclectic group of individuals, we come to truths. But also at the same time, it's working against us as well. You know, because everything that they ever invent, they'd say, hey, that's really cool. How can we kill people with it? I mean, every time.
You do, don't they? Every time.
I'm sure that the first time they came about with fire, they said, kick ass. How can we kill and hurt people with this? You know?
Yeah.
That's right.
I'm going to let you guys go for a while. I'm going to go back to work.
All right, Roger.
PG, I'll see you in at the
see you at, well, it's I've got a stream in hold on 4.5 hours. So that's when they stream. So yeah. Right. So I'll probably have like an hour's sleep or something in a bit and then just get up for the stream.
Oh, snoring.
Vicky will be in the background. Vicky will be in the background snoring.
All right.
Nice meeting you, Roger.
Roger.
Wow, that's really weird. Said Maria Walker says she had a dream 35 years ago that she was in a camp, barbed wire, and was laying around crying and then beheaded.
Ooh, what? Do you know? No,
super dark. Super dark.
I've dreamt that my head has come off and I've been carrying it, but I still see like it's normal, but I was carrying my head and then I glued it back on. I've dreamt things like that. I don't know how it came off, but I lost my head. I dream of losing my teeth a lot. I dream of that loads.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so much.
Do you ever dream of like being naked at school? That used to happen.
Not at school, but I've dreamt of things like that.
Yeah. I used to get these dreams where like I'd where I'd have to be someplace and then I'd be like almost out the door and then I'd go, oh fuck, I forgot something and I have to go back in and find it and then I get that and then I get bought out the door and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to wear pants and go back in, and it's just I can't get to where I need to be.
That's right.
I haven't had those though. I've divorced myself from the clock. I just divorced myself from it. I mean, fuck that dial. I'm not going to be ruled by it.
I get what you're saying. I never even thought about it, until you said it the other day. Like you said, someone said you want some food. They look at the clock. It's like, oh, it's not dinner time yet. Yeah. You're right, man. You're right. We conform to the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people think the clock is the center of civilization. They put it there.
And it's a man-made thing, but for a man-made concept, time.
Well, it really came about with the advent of the Industrial Revolution. It really did. Because prior to that, nobody was really concerned about time. There was, morning, there was noontime, then there was evening,
Yeah,
And
like how did people know what time was? Like there was like, when did time actually get introduced? You're like, oh, you got to be here.
Well, see, they used to
got to be here at this point.
Usually, a town would have a clock tower. A lot of times, if a town could afford it, like your bigger places, could afford a clock tower, and they would have the bells that could be heard from a long way, so people could hear the time or whatever. But it went by local time, right? So because there weren't time zones, that clock was set to the zenith of the sun for noon, and there you went, like that. And so everybody had their own local time. But people weren't really concerned with it. I mean, the chickens crow, you get up, you go do whatever it is you do. It wasn't until we had this shift work and 8-hour working days and 8-hour working days and 40-hour work weeks and all this stuff where we started equating time with money.
So that's right.
Yeah.
As well. If you're doing an 8-hour a day job, what are you doing? Like after you've done an hour or an hour or two's work, you're looking at your watch to see when the next break is, or when your lunch, when your dinner is. You know, you're right, man. Yeah. I never thought about it till you said it the other day. Yeah.
You hear people all the time now. They're like, I don't have time for this.
No,
I can't seem to find the time. And they'll actually fill time that they could be using for some other thing. They fill it with bullshit. Like, I can't because the damn game's coming on, and I don't know how, or whatever.
They got to defend the globe.
Constantly worried about the time all the time.
Absolutely. It's crazy because I do it myself.
I think we all do, though.
Do. To some extent,
and I find that the older we get, we concentrate more on time.
Yes, we do. Absolutely, because you're stubborn. You get stubborn when you're older. You don't like to change your ways. So I suppose it's just ingrained in there.
Well, listen, I really don't give it a whole lot of thought, except for, it should be getting warm, Okay, but then it'll suddenly occur to me, it's like, holy crap, we're halfway through the year. We're on this. We're coming up on the summer solstice right now. This is nuts to me, man. I'm like, we just had New Year's. What the?
That's it. I mean, it does. As you're getting older, it seems that it's just going by quicker and quicker. It does, isn't it? And your parents tell you this when you're younger. They tell you this, and you just disregard it. It's like, okay. Yeah, but then you start living it, and it's crazy. I mean, sometimes I feel like I'm still 18, like messing about with my mates and something like that, just with a bit of a wiser head. Right. And you just think that I'm 48 next month, and it was just yesterday I was in my 20s lifting weights in the gym when I was in rehab and that.
PJ, you gotta hear this shit. Like there's some weird thing going on with the various people that we talk to, that we're young and old and young. There's no anything. I went through the same shit you did, where I was like, shit, what happened to my 30s? Like, I literally don't have, that happened. That happened to me. But dude, come on, man. We're drilling it right now. Like, it doesn't matter like how old you are. We're seeing something new. It doesn't. We're seeing something new. And it's awesome.
I'm every age. I'm every age I've ever been.
Absolutely.
They don't go away. What happens is, how often you hear this? Well, act your age. What is that? How do you act a number? That's stupid.
That's really dumb.
Pre-prescribed way that everyone feels I should act through social engineering. I was watching this movie. I think it was Las Vegas or something like that, and it was with these older actors. And they were all going to get together for one last big trip and shit, right? And it was Morgan Freeman, a lot of your older actors.
Right.
And something I noticed that was a prevalent theme about it was the fact that everyone was on all kinds of different prescriptions and had different kinds of ailments that they had to see certain kinds of specialists and shit for. Normalizing that when you get to a certain age, expect to be on an ass load of different pills for whatever, hypertension, cholesterol, blah, 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 blah. and it pushes that familiar theme so that it seems like it's it's just something that happens. It's part of aging, when in reality it's not.
We never needed any of that shit.
No,
that's the fucking thing. It's like that's the monster we're up against. We never needed any of that stuff.
If you have to
ever,
if you have to mimic a venomous snake to introduce something into my body and my mind and my heart tells me that's wrong. You're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to put things with a snake fang into your body.
Have you seen the way children react to? They start screaming and crying, and then the parents just push them closer to the needle. It's like, oh my gosh.
Here's the only caveat. The caveat to that really is the only reason you should ever shoot anything into your thing is if you actually got bit by a snake that might kill you, and you use the counterbalance of the thing to get it, which is the only time you should ever do anything like that. Am I close on that? I don't know.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies. I won't give blood because I don't like something stuck in my fucking veins.
That's the same way. I'm saying
for an object. It's just for an object. Yeah.
Have you guys seen the testimony from Stanley Plotkin that was available on YouTube before they took it off? He was one of the vaccine creators. Unreal.
Easy with words now.
Yeah, for sure. I won't say
of course.
Stanley Plotkin. His testimony was just unreal what they did. So we should be staying far away from these.
Well, and there again, like I say, that's a personal choice. That's my personal choice. You may feel different. You go ahead and do it. I do me. You know,
haven't we all gone down the pharmakia like rabbit hole?
Oh man, that's one of the 4 types of alchemic magic that's being used to keep people under this spell.
Yeah.
Look, man, you've got. First off, you use a spinning ball to get people lured into that. Okay. Even in your news programs, what do you got? You got that logo comes up, right? And it goes, it's like a countdown. And it spins. It's always concentric circles spinning in different directions and shit, right? Contrasting, confusing colors of red and blue with little flashes of white. And then it's like a countdown. 4, 3, 2, 1. And it goes down in the corner, right? It's still going. And some bimbo comes on and goes, look at my tits while I lie to you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like
Vicky just said that when you go to the doctors and all that, they push all these pills and stuff like that. They make more addicts than addicts come in. You know what I mean?
No, they make more addicts than any.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Company.
People get hooked on the shit and they can't get it anymore because the doctor stops prescribing it, and then they go to the street dealer. See?
Yeah, they did that to Vicky.
Years ago. Yeah.
Took her off her meds, stopped her meds after giving her them.
They were like.
So yeah, there are 4 types of alchemic magic being used on us all at the same time. Okay, and they're easily identifiable.
What's the deal with the wizard? What's the deal with the wizard? Like in every single one of these like practices. Look, I love trauma medicine. I break my leg, somebody fixes it. I have an emergency surgery. I have a lot of love for those guys. What's the deal with the snake going up the staff?
Yeah,
the serpent on pharmakia, like all this shit.
Is exactly what the fuck is it? What's your heart tell you? What does your heart tell you that means?
My heart tells me it's the oldest story of all time. Is what it tells me.
It's meant to be to do with Moses, but it's not good, is it? It's not good.
You've got as we all know, pharmakia, but it's not just in that industry right there too. No. The pharmakia is the use of potions and or poisons to subdue or eradicate your enemy. Okay. And or to even control them. This is what pharmakia is. And it's not just in mean medicine. I mean, you look at how much shit is in the ingredients of food that you can't even pronounce and you don't even know what the fuck it is. Right.
That's right.
Yeah. And my understanding was boiling it down, it's some sort of sorcery. That's the only way it boils down to sorcery.
Well, that's what I'm trying to explain.
Alchemy things. Yeah. And it metaphorically, whether you believe in the Bible or not, that shit rides level in my mind right now, because I can see it what it is. I'm just like, what the fuck, man?
If you look into if you look at the Book of Enoch, it tells what these various fallen angels are in deep shit for.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? And one of them is pharmakia and witchcraft, even making birth control. It was another one. Okay, yeah, way back then, teaching human women, how to make potions to keep themselves from getting pregnant, so they can just fornicate and shit, right? There's a whole list of stuff, but so the pharmakia covers it's in our water, it's in our food, it's in our air. We go willingly to these maniacs in white coats to give us stuff and shit. We prolong our illnesses by taking over-the-counter things to suppress the symptoms, which is actually making you well by having those symptoms. So you try to suppress it and prolong your illness. All right. So oh shit. Oh fuck.
What?
My monitors just all blinked out. I'm probably going to go into.
We can still hear you. We can still hear you.
You are frozen.
You can stay on the monologue if you want.
All right, I'm going to go on.
Yeah.
I can hear you, but you're frozen anyway.
If you want to pop off and then just come back on, can I try to like finish that whole thing? The not finishing it for him, but like, I mean, it's the oldest story of all time. I mean, it's the yin and the yang, where, are we in a soul trap that we can get outside of the yin and the yang? I hope. But like, right now it's like we're at this place where, there was a deception at the very start. Metaphorically, it works all the way through the timelines, even the false timelines and false histories that we've ever done. It works on either one, because if you do wax biblical and you go into that world, it looks that way. But if you step outside of that and you look at other things, it still looks like fuck. It feels like we signed up for this shit. I don't know what we're up to. I don't know where we're going after, but all of us kind of figured this out. Mine got weaponized in 2020, probably in 2001, but 2020. But yeah, anyway, that's it. That's my rant. There you go.
Oh, cool.
Lowry, you would want to, if you don't mind me asking, Lowry, I think you would be amazing up in heaven. You would go if the opportunity was there, right?
I don't even know what that is. I just don't know what any of that is. But I'm wide open. I'm wide open to look at everything. And
amazing.
Sorry.
At least you're open. Yeah. There was this story. Thank you. There was a story where there's several stories, but there was one in particular. Have you guys seen it? Heaven is for real, where a young boy went to heaven. He met Jesus.
I haven't seen that.
I highly recommend it. Supposedly he met Jesus. Jesus has like a horse in heaven, but it's supposedly it's like Earth, but no corruption.
I'm Christian friendly or Christian adjacent, and I'm not opposed to that story.
Sounds like a great place, right? No pain.
I mean, well, yes, it does, but I am very careful about like dealing with that sort of thing. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm about being good, so I hope everybody else hearing is about being good, and that's kind of a Jesus thing. And like, I get very careful on things.
So I just want to finish what I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So along with the pharmakia, we've got the illusory, and I explained how they even do that with your regular news and things like that, right? We get illusory magic through the tell a lie to my vision, the television. All the time. Even so much so as to running these psyops, telling you that there's some kind of a conflict someplace when there really isn't, that kind of a thing. And people are under illusions. Okay.
Right.
So that's the pharmakia, the illusory. We've got Enochian magic, which is the use of speech and language to trick people, to like double entendres and double negatives are a good example of that. Right. The English language is probably one of the most deceptive languages that there is. And it's also one of the newest. So we've got the Enochian and then sigil magic. Sigil magic is the use of symbols, colors, and various forms to activate various portions of your mind. Okay. And it's a big science behind this. Certain colors cause the frequency of that color can change your attitude, your mood. There's all kinds of stuff with that. Continuously bombarded with imagery of a globe, that kind of thing. Those four things being worked together continuously on people has their minds in a spell. They are spellbound. And the ones that want to keep them in that spellbound are these flat earth haters. Because all of them complied with the last 4 years.
They've got like what, 5 guys total, or not even that. Like I only know like Craig, McToon, what all
there might be. I could probably dig up a list of 10 at the most.
Yeah, because nobody else is doing anything. Nobody else is doing anything. There's 2 guys trying to fight back, and it's like they must be getting paid a fucking shit ton of money, because I'm like, really? There's just 2 guys fighting against, I don't know, maybe we're not on a globe.
Okay.
You know? It's so
this
weird.
Is what tells me it's not organic. There's something fucking weird about it. There's something really fucking weird about it. And it's because, just like this, think about this. That would be like a minister subscribing to OnlyFans accounts so that he could tell the people how sinful they're being.
Okay, cycle.
Right. What's he really doing? He likes the OnlyFans account. That's what he does. He's just trying to hold his head. These guys, it doesn't make sense. If I disagree with something, well, that's fine. Okay. But I'm not going to make an entire career out of trying to shut somebody up or fighting with them and arguing with them every fucking chance I get. There's just something too weird about them. They all have some kind of psychological problem. Every one of them. Every one of them. If they dress like women, or they paint their fingernails black, or they just something fucking wrong with them. Every single one.
They've got a million. They've got a million eyes on them, watching their every failure. So they have to know that they did not respond to the call in the debate. You know, especially with Austin. But like they literally just, we saw what they were. You know, and now what do you do now? What do you do now? You're like, they don't even see the reflection of themselves when people reflect them on Twitter or all the social medias. They don't understand the fact that we're coming back at them with their own energy, right? So I'm like, at this point in time, it's like they got 2-3 guys speaking against, you know, our cosmological model that we've sort of worked on, or like, you know, it's just like this. It's that nuts. Like there's only a small amount of people that are fighting back, and they're really good at arguing, and they don't care if they're right or wrong. They just don't care. They give no shits. Or they're
LJ says that Not a Professor Dave's upload for the Witsit debate has 260,000 views in the last 2 days. Now, what I would be interested in is there really that many viewers? We know these guys are put out there by YouTube. They are on here by YouTube. They're part of that effort that they spoke about in front of Congress. You know, they're exactly part of that. And that's why they're here. That's the only reason they're here. And here's the real thing. Without us, they don't exist.
Yeah.
And what we're seeing right now is a series of crumblings that are taking place. These guys are almost in a place where they're psychologically breaking down. They know we know their game. We're tired of playing their game. They know we're not going to play their game. At least Shawn was smart enough to change the whole format of his channel. I mean, I think he would have done better with cat videos in the first fucking place. But we're seeing these guys really have been taking a beating. I mean, the poll completely shifted on that thing with Witsit and Dave.
Yeah, that was great to see.
It's not just that. It's not just that. It's like there's some very, very strange, like I mean, like what, you know, like flat Earth is easy. It's fun. It's awesome. It's perfect. It's exactly as you see it. You know, but like lately,
logical.
Logical. Yes, exactly. Water seeks its own level. We all know this shit. I've been doing it for 10 years. And I'm like, but that's the thing that fucking triggers people, as opposed to like, like we got Tucker Carlson reaching 40 million people on his thing talking about reptiles or demons.
Wow.
And that it's just like nobody gets triggered. Like, I'm not saying they're not there. I'm just saying, like, what the fuck happened? I mean, come on. It's like, are we the top of the food chain? Anybody? Anybody?
Huh.
Oh yeah, we're working with the creator's creation. So any lie that tries to go up against the creation is gonna get crumbled.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely. You can't keep. There's only so much duct tape you can use to patch the leaks. You know.
Yeah, people,
oh my god, that's so good.
Start to see the cracks. They explore the cracks, and they realize there's no foundation. Like evolution's been exposed, the moon landing's been exposed.
Moon landing is what first got me. This is why I had already come to the conclusion that we had not been to the moon.
Yeah, I'm surprised Austin bring that up. I guess he didn't bring that up for a reason during the debate, the moon landing.
I don't know, man. I don't think it would.
That would be a really long metaphor. I mean, the ultimate metaphor of all this is the snake eating its tail. You know, the snake eats its tail, and like that's just a cycle. It doesn't change the fact that we don't fly up into Disneyland Spaceballs in space. You know, that's just what it is. And it's like, yes, we all got caught in a 3-generational indoctrination where our parents believed it, and our grandparents believed it. We got caught up in it, and now we're coming out of it. And you can't really get mad at people that just got brainwashed. You can kind of walk on and move forward and do your thing. But it's like, I mean, like once you understand Disney, who's the biggest company in the world? Disney, who's forming young minds. They've been doing it since 58 or maybe even sooner than that. It's just like, fuck. It's Disneyland. It's like your family's like where you go to have fun. I've never been, but like I would go there, maybe take some mushrooms and go there and have a good time. But I would not go there as like a wholesome family like thing. This place is like what got created for the kids and the kids, the kids and the kids. And now everyone thinks they're princesses and they think they're fucking astronauts and everything else.
I
escape the indoctrination. Fucking get out of it. I
remember when they did when the moon landing happened, 1969. I remember I watched it on TV and shit. And I remember my grandfather, and he said he's out there, and I was telling him about it, and I said, "Yeah, and they put the astronauts up on the moon, Grandpa." And he says, "Do you believe that? You believe they put?" He says, "You believe they put people up there? There's people up there walking around." And I said, "Yes." And he just patted me on the back and laughed, and I thought that was weird. And my dad's explanation was, he said, "Well, your grandpa don't think that they can send anybody to the moon. He's from older times and shit like that." But he knew. He fucking knew.
No, he knew. And I'll tell you the same story. My granddad told me at 7 that it was flat. He was a Navy guy on World War II. He said it was flat. I was like, "You old kook." And that, like, so here we are. 40 years later, I'm like, fucking shit, that guy was right.
He was right. He called it.
I mean, it's not like I want to like make fun of myself or anything, but like, there's no ego in me anymore. Like, once I figured this whole fucking thing out, I'm like, shit. Now it's just my spiritual journey next.
Yep.
Sign me up. Sign me up. I'm fucking on my way. It's like, it's just like the math and all the dissonance in all the things that didn't make sense all the time for me unraveled in a matter of a month, 2 months, maybe. Like, it's probably, I'm still kind of going through the exit of like the fact that I'm Alex 2.0 now, and like I'm sure all the people here like whatever, but I'm like, oh shit. And every day gets better. I'm just like,
it's such a blessing.
Indeed,
I think
it is.
The flat Earth has been such a blessing, and it's been so much fun. And unfortunately, you're right, Lowry. I've been actually mentioning this in some Discord chats. I've been saying this is a multi-generational curse that's being passed on. We have to break these cycles, and help as many as we can.
But it's going a lot easier than it was like 5 years ago. 5 years ago, it was a shit show. It was like nobody, like, fuck you. You're an idiot. You're a right winger. You're not. And I'm like, no. Now I just understand like spherical trig, fucker. Like, you want to talk about it? And then they're like, I don't understand Cheryl trick. I'm like, okay. What are you supposed to do with that? What are you supposed to do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Are we still broadcasting? Shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing, man?
What's happening, Kevin?
Hey, buddy, what's going on? This is my first time up here with you, bro.
No, I was gonna say I see you in the chat all the time, and I saw you pop up. I was like, holy cow! He's either finally come up, or he accidentally hit the button by accident.
But no, accidentally falling through StreamYard, that's for sure. But man, I'm cool. I was hearing you talk about your grandfather, and then another guy said almost exactly what my grandfather told me. Also, me and him was real close, kind of like you talking about with yours and him and everything. Well, we were riding down the road one day, and he knew I had some fantastic ideas. I was probably about 11, something like that. You know, most of us that end up where we're at, we've got a pretty good imagination. You know what I'm saying? I had a great one when I was a kid. I still got a good one. But at any rate, he looked over at me. I had said something, and I couldn't tell you for the life of me what it was. But he looked over at me, Dave, and he said, I want you to remember this. He said, it's as flat as it is round. He literally told me that when I was 11 or 12 years old, and I had no clue. I asked him for 10 miles, what are you talking about? What's flat and round? What do you mean? I mean, he just come out of nowhere. He was a mason, bro. He was a master mason in the Kings Mountain 329 Lodge.
Yeah, so, their whole altar depicts exactly the realm. It does. It depicts the realm.
It must have blown his mind, Kevin? That's why he was sharing it with you.
Do what?
It must have blown his mind as well. So I'm sure that's why he was sharing it with you.
I don't know why. I had said something apparently that really triggered him, like he needs to know, you know, and he always kind of treated me differently than the other grandchildren. But I was closer to him, so, you know, I mean, that's all that could be. But
well, he probably seen it in you that you're going to be someone that will look for the truth, you know. Some people have got that instinct, you know.
That's right. He knew I didn't lie. I'd never lied. I never stole anything. I'd get in trouble just like any other teenager and stuff like that, but I'm about as honest as they come, though, you know.
Oh, well, we've all listen. We've all got past. We've all done things wrong, especially me, you know. So everybody got a past. It's about moving forward. Do you know what I mean? It's about moving forward. Say again. Better in yourself, like Vicky just said. Better in yourself. You know. How you do that?
And not financially.
There's many ways.
I don't mean financially. Like people
People
now are so obsessed with wealth and
material.
Instead of people focusing on, I want a bigger house, I want a better car, focus on actually being good in yourself, being a good person.
At least trying, you know.
Like,
absolutely.
I'm still learning.
Cool.
I'm new to all of this.
Vicky's new to flat earth, you know. She's brand new to it. About 6 months now.
Oh, I thought you were all mad.
She thought I was mad.
Not all of you.
Well, all of us, but she's with me now. I've been flat earther since 2015. You know, only started really digging into it, you know, doing lives and stuff like that. Starting from 20.
Here's a cool. I'm just gonna put me up. You got real quick. I'm gonna show you a really cool little analogy. So, if you think about this cigarette right here, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and we've got this brown area right here with this little red line. Okay, and that little red line is the last years of your life. This brown is all your whole life. So you spend your entire life preparing for this little red line right here. Okay. And that little red line is only a small portion of that whole bit that you've had, right? And you spent it trying to prepare for the red line and not preparing for everything else that comes after the red line. And this goes on and on and on.
Dude, that's a good visual. That's a good visual. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that. That's true, because like you say, I mean, it's not about you're not really dying. You're dying to live, so you're living.
Think about a caterpillar. Okay,
Right.
you see a caterpillar, it goes along and it has a whole life as a caterpillar. From little tiny, gets all the way big and everything, and then starts getting a little older and everything. And what's it do? It goes into a chrysalis, and something else comes out. Did the caterpillar die? No. The caterpillar is no more, but the caterpillar didn't really die. It changed form. And that's why this is why the butterfly is always used as that symbol. It's because that's the way I view death.
Absolutely.
That's the way, you know, although I'm not avidly seeking it, I don't fear it. And in a way, I'm kind of looking forward to, wow, what's gonna happen? I'm curious. I'm really curious, you know, and for me to fear the inevitable, that's ridiculous, right? So I can only look at it as like, wow, I wonder what it's going to be like.
I was actually with my dad when he passed away, guys. It was unbelievable. Can I share what happened really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. That day he was passing, it was really overcast outside, gray clouds, and we were praying the night before. He accepted Jesus, and the moment he passed, thankfully, the moment he passed, literally the sky, like the clouds parted, because we were, his bed was next to a window, so the clouds parted and the light from the sky and the blue sky appeared. The light entered the room, and it was just like in the movies. It was like it was unbelievable.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it could be a coincidence. Some people think it's a coincidence, but I don't.
Nah. God incidents, dude. God incidents.
No, I had that profound coincidence that happened to me when I was exploring and highlighting the Mandela effects that have been happening in the Bible. And I just got done highlighting the one in Exodus where it says God's name is jealous.
Yeah.
And I just got done highlighting that one. And I got ready to.
I done a video on that. I done a video on God's name is jealous. It's on my channel.
Yeah, I saw that. I got to check it out. Well, the thing that happened to me was that a little slip of paper that somebody, previous owner of this Bible, had used for a bookmark, and it fell out on the floor. And I picked it up, and there was a little writing on it. The only thing written on it was a Psalms verse. And so I looked up that Psalms verse, and this is right after highlighting the one that says jealous. And it was the Psalms that says that, you know, that all men shall know that your name alone is Jehovah. And I was like, wow, what's the odds that right after going and noticing that, hey, jealous is not somebody's name, that's a demon's name.
No, exactly.
And then it goes to that one and directs me right to it. And I'm like, that's crazy. That can't be a coincidence.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Supposedly, there is no word for a coincidence in the Bible, or the authors never had a term for a coincidence, because everything is in sequence, right? So I've noticed this in the debate circles when atheists are debating someone like Darth Dawkins, who uses logic. He'll use the two options. He'll present the two options. One, everything is random, right? So coincidences, and one is everything is logical or connected. So it's a really interesting way to debate, and it's really fun. Have you guys ever heard of Darth Dawkins? Oh, sorry, Duncan Atheism? I think that's his name.
Is that the Professor Dawkins?
No, this is another guy. He's an apologetic that goes on and just challenges atheists using logic. It's hilarious because they go crazy.
Yeah, I've seen one guy he did that. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, his name is Darth Dawkins, but he had to change his name to Duncan Atheism. Great stuff.
Wow. So when I was talking about this, you know, there's this huge push recently I've seen in social media, especially on YouTube and shit, where these guys are really putting out some fucking material against flat Earth. And of course, Simon Dan, he just put out his recent one here on Twitter. This is insane.
As in psyop.
Yeah, no doubt, right? He says, his post said, when you think that one day everyone will be a flat earther. So they're worried. They're extremely worried.
Be worried.
Yeah.
Because the truth's out. It's truth's out. You just need funny flares. He can talk about being funny.
Hey, guys, can I ask a question right quick?
Yeah.
I just popped in. I heard Kings Mountain brought up. Are you in North or South Carolina?
I'm right on the line. I'm right in Grover.
Oh, you're right. You're in Grover, the town on the line. Holy crap!
Yeah, I'm 3.5 miles north of Grover. I'm at the other end of Grover. When we had telephone books, I was in the telephone book for Grover and Kings Mountain.
Nice. I was raised in Gaston County in Artcloth. You know where I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, right in Belmont, Charlotte, the whole.
Yeah, man.
I live in Rock Hill, York County, York.
You live in Rock Hill?
I did back in the day. I'm in Denver right now. Yeah, I was just curious when I heard Kings Mountain. I'm like, that voice from my neck of the woods.
Yeah, man. I'm here, brother. Dave, what was that verse you saying, Leviticus? I was going to look at that a minute. I never do get my Bible and look.
It's in Exodus. It's
Exodus or Leviticus?
No, Exodus.
Okay.
It says, "Thou shalt have no other gods, for God's name is jealous, and He is a jealous God."
Yeah. Now it does say, always said, He is a jealous God, to emphasize how wrong it is to worship other false gods.
34,
That's why. But as in His name being jealous, never. That with a name usually like it sometimes implies like an occupation or character. Your character. You know, like you get names, character sort of thing. And jealous is not God's character at all. At all. It definitely was not that. It was Yahweh. It was Yahweh. It was there. Or Jehovah. I remember one of the two.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Jehovah also, yeah.
Yeah, I forget exactly what the verse of Exodus is. I'll find out here in just a minute.
That's all right.
I could just show this thing of Simon Dan. This is more of this desperate attempt, man.
One of the things that makes me laugh about flat earthers is how they will always say at some point that it won't be long until everyone on Earth knows that the Earth is flat. I'll tell you why that's never going to happen. First off, you've got your flat earthers who are a very small percentage of people. Then you've got people like me who are probably an even smaller percentage of people who sort of combat flat earth. Then you've got quite a large percentage of people which will never be turned because they're scientific minded and they know that the earth is not flat and that it's spherical. And then you've got a massive chunk of people in the middle that just don't care. They don't care. It's not going to affect their daily lives. They're not going to be worried about whether the earth is a globe or it's flat. So no, you will never, ever convert every single person to be a flat earther. Sorry about that. One of the things that makes me laugh.
Okay, so I'm going to agree with him on this point.
We're not agreed with the end statement. Agreed with his end statement. What he said at the end there.
We're not going to convert anybody. We don't convert anyone. You come to that on your own.
Yeah,
you will come to it on your own.
You can't do
this.
As
it not affecting your daily life. Bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit. It will profoundly affect your entire life.
In fact, absolutely. The people who are doing random acts of violence on strangers, the majority of them, if not all, believe the globe. So people are literally a danger to themselves and the community, and all from lies. So
your mind can't rectify it in a subconscious level. You know, but this is going to be their thing. Oh well, nobody cares anyways. Do you see the tactic that they're going at now?
Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy to get around. You're like, because you don't care doesn't mean I don't care. You know, you just like you fucking asshole. You're just such a dick. You know, and somebody's like putting that out in the world.
And if nobody cares, why are you putting so much energy into it?
That's the thing. Obviously, you obviously care, or you wouldn't have took the time out of your day. There's time again to make a video and say that.
And the key word he used was combat. So he's literally in combat.
Yeah, no.
Go on.
I honestly think, right, because I was just a normie. I didn't really care. And then I listened to obviously all you lot. And then eventually I was like, oh, actually. And you see it, but you can't unsee it.
That's right.
But I think the problem is a lot of people don't see the stuff that's put out.
Of course they don't.
So then they don't have that
realization
that actually we have been lied to and it's all just BS.
True.
But because it's like shadow banned and that, it don't get out. Nobody hears nothing.
No, you have to push it. You have to push it out, don't you?
I know, but I think if people did watch it, a lot more would go to the flat earth than the globe.
But the flat earth is like, but I disagree with him on the point of that they're only a small percentage.
Yeah.
It's bigger than you think.
Yeah,
Yes, and
it's bigger all the time. That's
and
the
some
whole
li-
thing.
and some liars. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I would argue that aside from your own personal spiritual journey, that's yours and yours alone to take, whichever way you go, flat Earth is it's the nugget. It's the biggest thing, and like get that into your head, because like I thought people would get across this easily 9 years ago, and nobody could get it, and they're still not getting it, and I'm like, we could be all alone here, you know? It's just like. You
raise a great point. This is the very first foundation, in my opinion. The creator, this realm has 4 pillars that it stands on. The first was creation, right? Because that's in the very first chapter of the Bible. It talks about the creation of the world and the creation of rules. The second pillar, just think of it like a dinner table. It has 4 legs. The first leg is creation. The second leg is the rules, because when you create something, you have to have rules. When you have rules, there's going to be judgment. And of course, with judgment, because he's a loving, gracious, he's a forgiving, he's the author of forgiveness. The last foundation is forgiveness and grace. So what happened is Satan, he's attacked every foundation. The first foundation he attacks, right? He doesn't want us to believe in creation. The second one is he doesn't want people to know the rules. He doesn't want people to know they're going to be judged. And he doesn't want others to know that they can be forgiven. So you're right, Lowry. This is one of the first foundations, and that's why it's unfortunate when we see, like, personally, I'll encounter Christians who are working with a 3-legged table, and then when they invite people over, like atheists, they're like, hey, come over to my table, come eat, I'm going to teach you about the Bible and Christianity. But when they're only using a 3-legged table, when the atheists are asking questions, the table seems to wobble, and then they get annoyed and they're like, okay, I'm out of here. But when you have someone working with a firm table, these people will sit down a lot longer and they'll be able to eat more. So we have to be able to use all the tools, like you say, all the pillars, all the tools that are available, because someone would have to reach, everyone has their own Achilles heel. When we reach their Achilles heel, right, you'll be able to remove that lie, and then they can go forward. And this is just my opinion, but I think you guys will share that.
Yeah, I get it, man. It's like it's
huge.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're, once you cross over in the spiritual realm, like metaphors all work and everything happens.
Yeah. For instance, the Bible, in my opinion, the creator wanted it to be on multiple levels, metaphor and literal. I'll tell you why. Because as a child, when we tell a child, hey, don't eat from the tree of knowledge because we're going to die. The child, it's simple, they can understand that. But as an adult, when we have a greater life experience, you can actually say, okay, when we eat from the tree of knowledge, literally the tree grows in the mind, right? So like now we can see it as a metaphor. The tree of knowledge is now literally in our mind, and it started from a seed, which is a lie, right? For instance, evolution. So we plant that seed in a fertile mind, and it grows, and all these branches grow out from that one lie, like races, blah, blah, I'm better, or blah, 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 right? So that's why we have to, the Bible was written literally and metaphorically, in my opinion, because it's depending on the person's where they are in their life, whether it be a child, so it's simple, or when they're an adult like us, and we can actually see it on a metaphorical level as well. Do you know what I mean?
Indeed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm
Hey,
gonna let
so
you guys. I'm gonna let you guys rock on.
I'm-
I'm gonna let you guys rock on. You guys keep going. I'm gonna be lurking in the back.
Oh, you're the
I was just going to say,
Cheers,
so
guys.
I've-
Love you.
I can tell you
Yes, man. I was just about to say, sort of. I've got a stream on in just under 4 hours, and I haven't had any sleep yet. So I'm going to back out now, get an hour's sleep, and get up for my show. So,
All right, man. Good to meet you.
All
right. Thanks for coming on.
No problem, dude. No, I'll watch the rest of it when after I've done my show tomorrow.
All right.
Nice one for having me, dude. Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
All right, see you later.
There's dudes.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, Simon Dan doesn't like me personally because I go to his channel and I'll get people off of Facebook and I'll tell them Nathan Oakland sent me and I'll get them turned around. I did it a couple of times and he got mad, so he kicked me off Facebook. So.
Who did?
Simon.
Oh man, fuck you.
I always leave with Nathan Oakland sent me from 1980 and then I'll walk out the door. It's funny.
Does he have a merch shop? Oh, sorry.
His Facebook's big, dude. It's huge.
Yeah, I wonder if he's selling any goods.
Well, Kevin's been trying to talk now for 5 minutes. Y'all keep stepping on it.
I'm getting out, guys. Bye.
All right, later, Raj.
Later.
Take it easy, Raj. Good to meet you, man. Finally. I'm on a couple panels on TikTok. We got like a group that does the debates against us Globies all the time. You probably know what I'm talking about. Well, a guy on there said something the other night, right after the debate, when Austin spanked old Duper's Dave.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to tell you what. They are making more flat earthers than we could ever make at this point.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying, man. I said, just keep doing what you do, man. Just keep doing what you do. You're showing your ass. You're showing your ass. Even up to the point where it's like people go, you know what? Fuck those people. I don't want to be associated with them.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we just talk online now and we wait for one of them to step in there and they turn into that immediately. They know they're in trouble. I mean, they know, the probe is dead, bro. I mean, we're not going back to a way that they hoping we do. It's not going back. There's too much of a wave of people seeing what's actually going on. I ain't gonna say, us flat earthers. People are seeing what's going on, and they're waking up in mass amounts now.
Yeah.
So,
well,
they're done.
When we point out the psychological tactics that are being used against you at all times, and Lucky Haskins got it right on the fucking money. At the end of the day, all they've got is their pseudoscience and mockery. Okay, fake space and mockery. That's what they do. And immediately, you see these jokers on Facebook. I got a steadfast rule, right? If I've not heard a comment from you, and all I have found is I come in and I look and there's a bunch of fucking laughy emojis on every goddamn post I've ever made, I immediately block those people. Immediately. They're not even there to engage. They're there to that's the attempt at mockery. And how does that work? Nobody wants to be mocked. Go with the flow. Everybody goes with the flow. They're relying on their antiquated social engineering system that isn't working on people anymore. So like they tell me, oh, you're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a shit what you think. I don't give one shit. Not a bit. I don't care. That's why I'll tell them. I say, thank you for your subjective and irrelevant opinion.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you for your truth. That's all you got to do is use however you truly are, and you're making us an army at the point at any time.
Yep.
I like that.
I fully believe that this final experiment thing is nothing more than a fucking intelligence operation. And the more I think about it, the less I would suggest that either one of those guys go on that fucking flight. Because let's face it, man, they'd love to get Whitsitt out of the way. They would love to get Whitsitt out of the way.
That's what I thought, brother. That'd be a long way from home to help get rid of somebody.
Because I mean, he's been a formidable weapon.
Oh man,
it's like, okay, well, let's look into this. He's got the kind of mind that's able to understand everything about their bullshit that they just gloss over, and you find out the people that bring that shit up in the first place is they're globe proof, don't know what the fuck it means anyway, and that's what he's been there showing. And the best they can come up with is to screech and shriek and go word salad, word salad. Well, all that does is when people hear you say word salad, you just told everybody, I'm so stupid, I don't understand the words that came out of your mouth on a device that I could easily look and see what the fucking word meant at the touch of a fingertip.
That's right. Yeah, you nailed that, man. And that's what he's trying to dodge also. I don't really understand all this jargon, but I can't let you know that. Let me pick up my salad bottle here,
Yeah.
That ever since he basically mocked Dave Weiss on that last interview, I've almost hated that guy because Dave was there to have a decent speech. You know what I mean? A normal conversation about things. What could you offer as glow proof? Well, none of that went down. I was pissed by the time that got done because I like Dave Weiss. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's a nice guy. And the thing is that his app, he's just trying to make money. Well, so what? What if somebody's making money? Good for him.
You know?
Isn't that what isn't this what America is supposed to be about? Entrepreneurship, not being an industrial slave, entrepreneurship, man. That's what we're supposed to be. That's what we tout, right? So why would anybody ridicule that in the first place? And look how many people it has brought to understand, just even initially.
Yep.
And then you start expanding upon that as you start to throw the bullshit away. You're able to expand on what's real.
Yep. You nailed it, man. That thing, I haven't personally got it, but my wife don't let me have a credit card for online purchases. I keep telling her to get it for me, and she keeps forgetting. But I'm gonna get it one day.
What are you trying to get?
Oh, his app. I just keep forgetting to get it. Yeah. She won't let me have my own. I'll buy tools and stuff I can build stuff with. But anyway, yeah. And I have seen it, and matter of fact, I'll get it tonight. I mean, it's $3. You know what I'm saying? I've bought worse things for $100. You know what I mean? If it was bad.
Yeah, it's a great tool to have. $3.
Fantastic tool, man. I've seen some other guys pull it up on TikTok, and Dave himself has told us, you see when another blue dot comes up, Dave, Sovereign Dave. You see when another blue dot comes up, when somebody joined the group, come out of the dark, and that's just beautiful, man.
I had to turn that notification off because my phone was continuously going pop, 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 like all through the day. And I was finally just getting tired because at first I was like, oh, another flat earther is born. Oh, another flat earther is born. And then finally it was like, okay, that's getting irritating. This is great, but I can't have that popping all the goddamn time,
Yeah, brother, yeah. I know, man. He man, that's something that can help for years to come too,
Absolutely. And he keeps expanding on it and doing more stuff with it. There's games on it now and trivia games and all kinds of really cool shit, So, what the hell? It's $3. It's better than sending one of these clowns a $3 super chat.
Oh man, that's pure money wasted right there in any form. That's money in vain to me. But I mean, it's wasted even if you do believe the claim. They're not going to do nothing good, definitely.
Nope. No, I don't like these. And the thing is, I see them for what they are. They're fucking demon manipulated.
I listen a bunch of that. You're one of the best, bro. Yeah, I think you've got the best show on YouTube. You and Russ, matter of fact. I'm not kidding. I mean,
Yeah, Sovereign's amazing, man. Happy to find
It's
the
the
shit.
only show I watch other than to do my TikTok debate. That's it. I mean, dude's
I've
got it.
thought about expanding over to TikTok, but it's like I fucking hate TikTok. I do, man. There's just so much, you gotta really filter what you see on there, because there's a lot of shit out there too that's just like, what? Shut up.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'll run across. There's a few people that I follow on TikTok, but I'm not on there much to look at it, because it eats up a lot of resources on your phone, man. That worries the shit out of me. It'll eat your battery, even just in the background. It just fucking eats your power, and I'm like, what are they doing, really?
I'm kind of curious the same thing, because YouTube doesn't eat nearly the amount of juice out of your phone. TikTok, you about got to keep a live wire close to you.
Yeah.
If you ever come on there, man, feel free. I'm Kevin Barber on there also, and I don't know. I take a pride in just using my regular name too, so somebody ain't got to hunt far to find me. You know what I mean?
You know why, Kevin? It's because you're not ashamed of who you are. Okay?
Exactly.
You notice that most of these guys, you see these trolls, and they always have some name, and it's a very offensive name too. Yeah. Like so that it sounds like, I had one guy on Facebook, he calls himself Taking a Shit.
Yeah.
But he spells it a different way, so it looks like somebody's name. And these people, and right off the bat, okay, you're one of those guys. Yeah. If you're so embarrassed that you can't, I made no bones about who I am or where I am, where I come from, or any other thing, because I stand on what I say.
And, if you ever come in there, whatever, you'll know the flat earthers. They'll be all, in a couple of rooms or whatever. If you want to, just hit me up. I'll bring you right into a live. Kind of like this, but it's a little more hectic.
Yeah, they've got a thing on Twitter they do called Flat Earth Fridays. That's
really?
Like that. It's like a big open round table, and they've been crushing the shit out of these same usual suspects are on that too. FTFE, Big Tune.
Yeah, Tune and Tune's over there. I ain't seen Tune on TikTok. That's just my personal thing.
He's on
Twitter.
You know what?
He may be. That's what I say. But the odd thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing. He is absolutely out there. I've interacted with his dumbass.
I'll have to download Twitter again. But there's actually a guy on TikTok that is a Globie, and I thought it was that Craig guy, Fight the anyway, FTFE. I thought it was him for a while, and I finally got him to turn his camera on. He turned his camera on, and I'm not. He apparently didn't have the dollop on top of his head, which you know about, and he sounds just like him though. And I thought it was him, just hiding under a different name. His name was Simon on there. But it don't really matter. He's just as dumb as Craig is. And it blows my mind, man. I mean, these people, the ones I deal with, they'll come off and say something brilliant, man. And then follow it up with, why don't you think why don't you think 93 million miles away? I'm like, what? 100 million miles, man.
These inconceivable distances and unfathomable numbers that they use are exactly that, to confuse and dazzle the mind. It's just mind candy. Those distances don't exist.
Yep. And
They're
it does.
Distances. They're not real. There is nothing 93 million miles away. There's nothing a million miles away.
Yeah. Blows my mind, man. People bite it too. And what's the hardest thing to swallow is, I know you get them. I've been here when you did. Is the people that you first start talking to kind of see what they're all about and everything. And then they drop back to this defense area that they're defensive of the globe and stuff. And I'm like, that makes me mad. I have to leave them alone at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not there to listen, to learn anything new. Not that I know everything, but if you came to and told me something, I'd be like, wow, it'd be, it's profound. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You don't hear that out of Glober's mouth. Wow, that's a good idea. No, you don't hear that. You don't hear anything positive out of them. It's all negatory, and it's just purely to shut you down. And I know that if I see two guys on the corner down there talking about fairies, I'm not going to make my day from now on be about stopping them talking about fairies. You know what I mean? That's the idiot, you know?
Go ahead, you know, that's fine. And if other people want to go and talk about it too, why would somebody say, no, fairies aren't real and shit like that? There again, methinks the lady doth protest too much. Okay?
Yeah, right? I mean, I know, man. That's great.
It always boils down to that. I think, you know, the level of pushback is indicative of how real this actually is. And that's what people are actually seeing, you know?
Yeah.
Because everybody knows that, you know, that reality is always going to obliterate the lie. It's always going to obliterate the lie. The truth is always going to shine through the lie. And there's not enough duct tape to fucking patch up the leaks.
Yep. It always will, bro. Always.
Gravity tape.
Yeah, gravity will get it, won't they?
Yeah, gravity tape. That's what. Yeah, I had to take a duct tape roll and write gravity on it and shit, and say, "Yeah, here's the excuse. Here's another excuse."
Hold you down just like that stuff will.
Yep.
Yeah,
then
man.
you can have a Scotch tape. Can be refraction, and
yeah, I know, right? This one's a little bit worse today than some that's blurred worse. That's funny.
Did you guys catch? Yeah. Did you guys catch the point where Dave, during the debate with Austin, would say, "Oh, one piece of evidence doesn't destroy the 2,000 and 2,500 years of evidence"? Well, that logic doesn't really work though, because okay, imagine someone, a crime has been committed. All evidence points to this one person, right? Like his shoe is there, his fingerprints were there, right? But if there was one piece of evidence that exonerates him from being the suspect, is because let's say he was literally outside of the country, so it's physically impossible for him to have done it. That one piece of evidence is enough, right, to set him free. So the same thing goes if there's even one outlier in a lie, it should be alarming enough to break the lie. All the other lies that were used, right? Do you know what I'm trying to get to, guys?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I get a lot of pushback on this, and it's this simple. It's final experiment thing. They say if they see a sun for 24 hours, then that means the Earth's a globe. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
No, it fucking doesn't. It means we've got something going on that we don't understand with the sun, because that's not going to obliterate the tons of scientific measurable proofs that the Earth is not a globe, man. Yeah. Okay. I saw somebody in the chat earlier again with the fucking star trails. They always go east to west. Okay, if you look north, you're going to see them go from your right to your left. If you look south, they're going to go from your left to your right. They didn't change direction. You change the orientation that you're viewing them from. That's all. I mean, I can't believe that people that can't understand that would probably get fooled by the old "I got your nose" trick, you know?
Yeah.
Give it back. You know, it's like, no, it's my thumb. It's not really your nose, you know?
Sovereign, speaking of nose, can I share my screen? Can you show my screen? It's an image of our nose.
Those you want right
I'm presenting an image. It's just a graphic that I put together. I believe the creator put the flat earth on our eyeball and our face. Oh, is it Kevin?
Is that who? Oh, I'm sorry. I put the wrong guy up. I clicked the wrong box. I was like, what? All right. So what do you got?
Let me see if
I was it me? Did you say me?
Are you going to share a screen? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm waiting for you to pull it up. Okay, there it is. We made Kevin a star.
Yeah. So do you see the coincidence with our eyeball and the flat earth model from the top?
Mm-hmm.
So we have the sclera, which is the ice wall, and the iris. Actually, if you were to dissect the eyeball, it's literally a flat circular membrane, right, that we live on. And it comes in 3 colors primarily: green for the water, brown for the earth, green for the grass and leaves. And at the center is the pupil, which is us. We're the pupil. We're the center of God's creation. And in the very center, supposedly, when the people followed the compass, they got there and they saw a black magnetic mountain. So the pupil is black. Also, the firmament is our cornea. And our eyes are the sun and the moon, and our nose is the North Pole magnetic mountain in the center of the plane, and our beard, our hairline would be the ice wall, so to speak. And supposedly, I remember watching Jaron on an episode where he was discussing some reports from the north. Someone reported that there were 2 water vortices that changed direction. And that made me think, oh, it is like our nose, because maybe the earth is breathing in and out, and the true cause of the tides going up and down. So just something to think about. But do you guys see the similarity with the flat earth model, the most popular one, and our eyeball?
I've got another picture that's actually will blow your mind. That'll do just like that. If I can find it. I've got so many fucking pictures.
And if you ask people, would you sell both eyes? What's your price? Most people would be like,
there isn't one.
There isn't one.
There's no price to that. I'm looking for this old high aerial view picture from NASA of the North Pole that I had, and it looks just like that, man.
Interesting. Supposedly, there's a magnetic crystal behind our nose too, called magnetite.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, just like the birds. So there again with the magnetic mountain.
So this is all being drawn north. Were you here the other night? We looked at the Urbano Monte map and we zoomed in on the exact North Pole, and what we found there was a G.
Yes, that's right.
I was like, why did they put that there? Damn it, I can't find this thing.
Oh.
I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. It's supposedly a satellite view of the North Pole.
Interesting.
And it's that exact same thing with that just black void in the very middle.
Wow.
It's kind of like how your pupil is. Yeah. That's an interesting concept. Oh, I can't find it right now. Fuck it. I'm not gonna spend all night looking. But yeah, that is an interesting thing. And this is why I'm saying, a lot of times we see the firmament depicted like this, whereas I think of it more like a blister,
Yeah.
Where the little squigglies on the eye, the little squigglies all around and shit.
Okay, but just before we finish, on the final experiment, I overheard today, is Will Duffy going on the trip?
Man, I don't know what they're fucking doing. It's like I heard that Austin won't go unless Duffy goes, but Duffy will pay for Austin, but can't go himself if he does that. So I don't know, man. I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna watch how this thing plays out. I don't think this is gonna determine anything at all, if it even comes to fruition. We saw the same fucking thing run. We're gonna settle it once and for all and fly across the fucking Antarctic, and that was a scam. It never even happened. Of course, this is an established camp people can go to, but I'm sorry, man. My gut tells me that there's a fucking rat in the cheese. Okay.
Jaron exposed that 24-hour sun.
Well, no, I mean, there's a rat in the cheese, not regarding that. I'm just talking about behind this whole fucking thing. There's a rat in the cheese. I'm looking at all the inconsistencies and all the unlikely happenstance things that led up to this happening in the first place. There's a deliberate scrub that still isn't completely complete of Duffy's information. And we're in the process of looking into some of that. But
I did ask Duffy
right now, this sounds so fishy to me I can't see how in hell anybody would ever travel from. Okay, so you go to a debate in Tennessee and you meet McToon at this debate. Now, why were you at the debate? Okay, I guess it would be interesting to a minister, to ministers that are talking, or pastors that are talking on their different views of the cosmology from a biblical standpoint. Okay, I could see his interest in that, and I can see McToon's interest in that. So the setup for them to be able to meet would be okay. Yeah, I can get to that. But then we've got Toon, who lives in Minnesota, who agrees, I guess, to go and talk at Duffy's church. Now, what would Toon have to offer to a small congregation in a not so good neighborhood in Colorado? That just doesn't register with me. I cannot understand how that just doesn't seem very likely. I mean, what?
Am my understanding you're saying McToon went to a church?
Yeah, that's what I understand, is he gave a talk at this guy's church.
Really? Wow.
Now, every attempt that I know of so far from people that have gone to visit the church when it's scheduled to be having services and shit, they've gone there and found it closed and saying that there's renovations taking place. But,
wow. So there is no actual footage of him doing it. It's just his word.
So, yeah, I mean, well, there was a guy came on my show who was literally there on the night and time that they were supposed to be holding services, and he was on my live stream live, and he showed that the place was closed. I've heard this from other people too. So I'm just looking at what would Toon have to offer a congregation of Christians of any size?
I'm thinking the same thing. I'm a Christian. I'd have got up and left if I'd have seen him walk in, to be honest with you, go talk to everybody.
Now, here's the thing, too. Let all men be a liar, because I've heard people say, Toon says he's a Christian. Well, so did Jim Jones.
Yep.
People can claim to be anything. You wouldn't believe how many fucking surveyors, pilots, and physics experts I talk to on a daily basis on Facebook. They're all on Facebook. If you need an airline pilot, a physics professor, they're all there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, bullshit. You're not any of those things. So what I mean is people can claim to be whatever the hell they want. The fruit of the tree is what's evident of what the tree is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Judge a tree by the fruit that it bears.
Amen. Amen, brother. Can't go wrong that way anyway.
So then I look at this and it's really a sketchy put together as far as I'm concerned. Then all of a sudden, all this shit, kind of like the same type of drama like they used to use on that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire show type of thing. Oh, what's going to be in the mystery box? Who's behind the mysterious box, right? Who's behind the trip? Blah, 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 blah. And then you find out this is a brainchild hatched by this guy and McToon and shit. And you're like, okay. So, like I said, man, my gut tells me there's a rat in the cheese.
Absolutely, man.
So, I came off trying to be, I think, like he's real friendly and stuff, and he may very well be, but I'm looking and seeing Duper's delight.
Yeah. So McToon had something to do with the whole trip? Is that what? I mean, I'm a little bit slow sometimes. Forgive me.
What's your question now?
So you said that the trip come up to be part of McToon's? He was the brainchild behind it, or one of them?
I not necessarily the brainchild, but he was in cahoots with this pastor to come out with this, and they unveil this mystery as to who's behind it, and that kind of thing. And then they come out and they got this channel now called The Final Experiment. And he's continuously putting out updates, making it almost like a competition between flat earthers and globers And we've got this many that have agreed to go on this side, and we've got this many that have agreed to go on this side, and blah, 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 right? And it's like, look, when you stand back from it all, just completely stand back from it all and look at it, then that's when the logic starts to kick in. So this is a place that people go to. It's an established camp. It's been there for a few years now. And you mean to tell me that nobody in all the trips that people have gone down there, nobody has bothered to film a 24-hour Antarctic sun? Well, I find that really interesting.
Yeah, red flag.
Okay? I find that really interesting. Secondly, I look at it and I go, is that going to, if regardless of what they do see, is that going to throw out all the mountains of evidence that disproves the globe? No. Are you going to claim that the globe is much bigger than they told us? Well, that's going to throw all your fucking orbital mechanics out the goddamn window. Okay? So I look at it like that. It's not going to suddenly make the Earth a globe if somebody sees a sun 24 hours down there, which I don't believe they're going to see. Now, I do believe that the track of the sun that people see is due to the fact that this place is bigger than what we're told. I mean, how big really is the Tropic of Capricorn? How big is it really?
Yep.
Okay. We know that everything south of the equator is a fucked up, jumbled mess of shit because of the difficulty in establishing coordinates. Okay.
Yep.
So all this is not a final experiment. It's an observation. Okay. And it's not going to throw out the rest of everything. Water remains level. We see no curvature. The horizon is an optical effect. Everything. Gas, pressure without containment. None of that goes out the door. None of that.
Yeah. And did you guys notice that during the debate with Austin and Dave kept continually stated, we've known for 2,500 years. No, the actual 100% proof came with the landing, right? Because they had a video of the Earth, supposedly. So that was the first time in the history of mankind that would have confirmed. But because there was no landing, there's no confirmation, unfortunately. Right? Yeah, right? Because they would have guessed maybe 2,000 years ago, but confirmation came supposedly with the moon landing. So yeah, no moon landing, no globe. No 24-hour sun in the Antarctic. Yeah, no globe.
Let me show you something. I
I'm
want to
sorry.
show you guys something really cool. I forgot I had this.
Yeah, it is something to reevaluate about the stars or the sun. That's about all I can figure that would actually come out of it if we stream.
Well, I'm like this. Look, man, get your freaking boots on the ground. You want to tell us if the Earth is round or not, if it's a globe or not? Okay. Why are you looking in the sky?
That's right.
That's just dumb shit right there.
Yeah. Look the opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found this really interesting on refraction. Check this out. This is in refractive indexes. Watch this. This is really cool. Is that cool or what?
Oh yeah,
Very
cool.
That's like, because they both have the same refractive index, and as soon as they're both the same, you don't see it anymore. Now, let your mind work on that for a while with other things that we see or don't see, like maybe when there's an eclipse and that kind of thing. I don't know. I'm just saying, right?
Oh yeah, it's a great time for science right now. Science is reemerging.
It is. It is. People are interested in it because they do try to get you. I don't think there's much. I mean, I never found anything in any of my science classes that, except, and of course, that was dependent on the teacher, that was really made me eager to learn more. As soon as they started getting into all this stupid shit, I was just like, well, I want hands-on shit. That's what I'm looking about. I'm not if this is this and then this will happen and this mathematical equation. It's like, fuck all that. Let's just do what's real.
Yep.
And I think that's yeah.
That's a reasonable place to come from too. I mean, it's not like you're asking, build me a planet. You just want to say, let's start down here and show me what you know, man. And they don't ever come with any kind of showtime. They always come with story time. Look, we can do this. We can do that. Stop.
You guys, do you follow Robot Polisher?
Yeah, because of you. In fact, he's pretty slick, isn't
he? He put one out here about the Professor Dave Whitsitt debate, which is pretty good, I guess. Look, the dude's been destroyed. He's done.
Destroyed, bro. I mean, that on that actual debate, they started off with a percentage-wise poll. How many people that were listening? And he stated one time during the debate, the quartering guy did. He stated that there was 15,000 people watching. How true that was, I can't, attest to. But at the end of it, they said that they're taking the same poll at the end of it to see if it swayed anybody. And they took the poll at the end, and it was, at the beginning, it was 35% people were for the flat earth. Yep. 65 were globers. Right at the very end, showed up 61% flat earth, 39% globers. But he didn't believe that. He thought something had happened, mixed up the numbers. He did it again, and it came back up the same way.
Well, like Dave trashed on fucking quartering on Twitter right after the debate. He trashed on quartering. Yeah, the quartering says, fuck that. I'm on Team Flat Earth.
Amen. Amen. Yeah. He is making more flat Earth.
Just because of the way you act and shit. Yeah, he was taking his rage out on that. He's still claiming victory. But anybody who's watched it knows better. That's just more psychological word games he's playing. He's really a creep, man.
There you go. That's the right word.
Look at that. Little M, I was not in the GATE program in school. No. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what that is. I hated school. I tried to participate as little as possible.
We got through it. That's all we know.
School was cruel. I mean, thankfully I'm sure you guys made the best of it.
Oh, I like the social aspect of it for the most part, but I could have probably lived better without it. I mean, I don't want to be trapped in a fucking jail with other kids I don't fucking like.
Right.
If I found it necessary to have to dumb myself down just to fucking put up with it, I was like, no, this place it sucks. It sucks. I don't understand why you're even doing this shit to us, There
could be some potential. Imagine if there was no corruption. I'm sure it could be pretty epic. We could be
yeah, I mean, if it's called actual science and things, yeah, it could be pretty great, but there again, it's like they said, you're locked in there. I mean, you may as well be locked in there and have the doors locked on you, because if you leave, they're taking, they're going to take action one way or another.
Great point.
But, that would have to stop. People's got to voluntarily try to learn after we get that situated, If you want to live in the sticks and you got kids that don't want to learn anything, fine, keep them there. You know what I mean?
Can you like get your mic? You sound like you're talking through a pillow.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. That's all right. See if you can fix that a little bit. It's like I'm having to concentrate to understand.
I'm sorry. Yeah, give me a minute. I'll
with this weed. Anyway, let me. I'm going to play a little bit of this. This is
Was
from
it like that? Has it been that way all the time since I have been talking? Has it been like that?
It's kind of muffled. It's kind of muffled. It's like a walkie-talkie or something.
Cool. I'll get a different set. Hang on a minute.
All right.
Why is geocentrism exclusive to the Earth being a sphere?
Because it's a model that works.
Geocentrism, you often try to defend a geocentric model. That is an actual model that can, to some reasonable precision, describe the motions of the celestial objects and put them where they're supposed to go and predict quantitatively where they're going to be. First, you will pretend that the default position is that it's just totally flat. Just observe and see how flat it is. So the burden of proof is on the globies to prove it is a globe. No, that's false.
Now, I'm going to say that is not false, Dave, because my initial question to any glober is this. If no one had ever told you that you lived on a globe, what experience would you have had through your life, your normal everyday observations that would say, hey, you know what? I think I must be on a ball and it must be turning. No one would ever come to that, even that line of thinking.
Yeah.
Not for one reason whatsoever, because that whole concept would appear ridiculous to you. Okay. And this thing about burden of proof, look, if your globe is so true and your globe is so evident, why do you guys continuously try to push the burden of proof over onto what we observe? I'm sorry, the default position is of a level topographical plane. No one would ever come to the conclusion or even the line of thinking that they must be on a ball that's turning based on anything unless they're told that and convinced of it with a bunch of other nonsense. So that's another thing these demons do. They try to switch everything. Their whole game is inversion. Okay? And even with this, they have to invert. And they'll accuse you of what they do. So you got to understand how the demon mind operates.
Very simple, naked eye observations and basic logic that prove the Earth is a sphere.
You obviously don't comprehend what I'm saying.
I think you don't understand what I'm saying.
Do you agree that things will appear to drop due to perspective?
Why are you talking about perspective? I'm talking
because you don't understand it. You don't even understand basic stuff, dude.
Look at this. Hang on. Where's the camera? No, I'm talking about exactly what I'm talking about. The question is, why do we see too far? And the answer is, we don't. Sorry, they're all lies. You're lying about the distance. You're lying about the elevation. You're just lying. We're just always lying.
Case in point. Case in point. You're lying. You're always lying. That's projection.
It's a lie. You guys just lie. That's all it is. If we go up in elevation, we can see farther. That is not intuitive on a flat Earth. So why can we see further with higher elevation? It doesn't make any sense. So why?
You've increased your field of view? I don't know. Let's just think about that a little bit.
Can you see further with additional elevation?
Because you are increasing your angle of view.
Increasing
you didn't know that?
You can see. How can you see a further distance? We're not talking about an angle, a further distance.
Just think about it simply. If I was on a flat floor and I laid my head down on the floor, as I start to stand up, I'm going to be able to see further along the floor because my angle of view increases. This is, again, not exclusive to a globe Earth. And you deflected away from the observation that refutes the globe again.
Because I can't verify any of these numbers or the math. They're just lying about them. Yeah, I'm ducking a picture because it's a picture, right?
Okay, we can move on.
Fallacy, name a fallacy. We see too far. What about the kinematic equivalence?
And this is what's even funnier.
Reify.
You're saying, I promise.
This motherfucker does not like words that he can't understand. And he acts, see how they start acting like a little child? It's all they have is their mockery. This fucker was losing so bad, that's all he could go to was mockery.
Yeah.
Story of his whole fucking career, man.
Why does helium rise?
What's that now? Somebody say something? Okay.
I was agreeing with you. Yeah.
Oh.
Because it's less dense than air.
There you go. You're saying that doesn't count because I can't do it with bigger objects.
Yeah.
Do you know that physics scales?
Yeah, so a larger object, more charged particles, the effect should be greater. Why doesn't anything?
So you agree, though, that if I do the same principle on a bigger scale, if I increase the force proportionate to the object, I would be able to make things go up. And your claim that you can't do it with bigger objects is completely ridiculous, non sequitur.
Countering gravity. You would be countering gravity.
We're manipulating the force that's already there. I didn't add anything. Everything that exists is electrostatic. Right, which on the smallest scale is 10 to 36 power stronger than your belief in gravity. And all molecular and intermolecular attractive forces are electrostatic. That means all objects that exist are held together by that. So you're acting like I'm adding something that wasn't there.
I know that.
No, I'm just manipulating what was there. Now you do the same thing with your belief in gravity. Isolate gravity and prove it's true.
Yeah, things only fall down. That's it. Well, I'm asking you why things don't fall up.
Do you agree, though, that refraction is the bending of light, which means that a silhouette can't be refracted because it is the absence of light?
What?
Can a silhouette be refracted?
If you're seeing something, there's light traveling to your eyes. So
sure, but the mountain should be below the curve of the earth, right? But we're seeing the silhouette once it gets backlit, which means you need a line of sight to the physical object blocking the light.
I don't know, man. You're doing, I saw a thing, therefore everything we know about physics and science in general.
Good God. Oh, because we saw, let's say just the hand wave dismisses every fucking thing.
Is wrong. It's just not going to fly.
Dave concedes defeat. You heard it here first.
Okay,
the Earth is flat. Everybody knows now. Dave conceded.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
Whenever we fly a plane, do we treat the Earth like it's flat?
It doesn't matter.
All observations have shown that the Earth is stationary. We have the cosmic microwave background, which showed anisotropic inhomogeneous distribution of energy, which is the exact opposite of the heliocentric prediction, and intersected on the Earth. The 23.4 degree axis was on a non-local observation.
Salad.
Dude, define word salad.
You're just using words.
When did I say that was word salad, Dave?
Why are you using words? Are you a fag? You know, I mean, it's right out of fucking idiocracy, right? You're just using words. Well, what the fuck else was I supposed to use, right?
That's exactly what they did in Idiocracy, isn't it?
I know.
It's so true, eh?
I mean, this guy, you're just using words. Well, yeah, that's how we communicate, man.
Yeah, normally. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's one of their idiots, and I think it started with Toon, started using that phrase, word salad, and then it just permeated on every one of them over on there is going, oh, word salad, word salad. Word salad is this, okay? And it happens with people that have a form of dementia, and it's a thing that happens with people's brains sometimes. And what they'll do is they'll say something like, house trail car fart, you know, and it's like nothing related at all to it. When they say word salad, it's just that's basically what they're hearing because they have a limited vocabulary. And instead of making themselves look stupid to those of us that do not have a limited vocabulary, it would probably behoove them to go ahead on the device that they're saying word salad on is to quickly type in that word and see if you can figure out what the fuck it means, right? Then you don't look like such a dumbass. Or at the very least, say, can you break that down for me? I don't really understand what you're saying. Can you kind of break that down for me?
Yes.
And I've done that with relative density disequilibrium. You know, that sounds like, oh my God, word salad. No, it's not. It's 3 words that I've related together to describe a condition. It's very simple.
You notice, I'm sorry. If you know, I'm gonna have to jump off here in a minute because my mics are all jacked up. I'm having to listen out of my earpiece on my phone. I don't know what this thing's.
You sound better now than you have all night.
But I can barely hear y'all now.
Oh, shit.
But the fact that he knew he was not going to understand Austin is why he had a bottle of dressing ready to start saying.
You damn straight.
He knew he was going to lose him.
And what's pitiful about that is these guys in all this time calling everything that he says on a regular basis. He uses these phrases and things all the time, right? You would figure one of these numbskull shits would have took the time to find out what it is he actually means. And instead of going word salad, you could actually address the argument.
Exactly.
You know, and counter it perhaps with your physics that you claim are being thrown out the window, Dave.
Yep.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he's not real Mr. Physics anyway.
No, he's got writers and shit.
No, I'm saying it's word salad because it is word salad. Word salad. It's just word salad. He's just saying words to deflect.
Dude, stop using the term word salad. You don't know what it means.
It means you're just saying words that aren't saying anything, which is what you're doing. That's what it means, and that's what you do. It's word salad because it's just random words, a bunch of terminology, rapid fire to make it sound like you know what you're talking about, to trick people into thinking that you know what you're talking about. It's a jumble of words. You're taking words that are words and putting them together to make a salad, like your lettuce and your croutons and your things like that. That's why I tell you of yum yum word salad. Longer chunks of time are just time for word salad. Yum 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 yum. Stringing together words in a way that isn't saying anything.
Give an example.
Scientific terminology. I can't remember because you didn't say anything, so it doesn't really stick. Yeah, right.
You know what anticorpuscular rays are?
Well, what? Tell me what they are. Go ahead.
So you called it word salad, but it's just that you don't understand the terms.
It doesn't matter.
So the fact you didn't understand the terms like anticorpuscular rays and anisotropic and magnetic declination doesn't make it word salad. It means you need to go inform yourself what the words mean. Dude, what did I say that was word salad?
All of it. You're just saying words.
All of it.
I'm asking you.
You're just saying words.
In a field, particles of opposite charge.
It's basically vocalizing inept vocabulary skills and bragging about it. It's super weird.
Okay. I feel like you both
sure were words.
Okay, so
dude, that's pretty bad look.
Well, hold on.
It is a bad look for you.
All right, hold on. 61% of people have been converted to the flat Earth. Was like 65-35 in favor of sphere Earth earlier. So, I mean, did Flat Earth win? Wildly? Flat Earth won. Skillet Gaming says
Globe defenders are primarily hardcore leftists.
Is that true?
Man, that's a huge win for us right there, man. That's huge.
That was because this guy's been putting off, and that poll at the oh wow, that's really something right there, man.
Yeah, man. That's great.
Why is geocentrism?
They just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, good. Keep on. Is that, and they don't believe me when I tell them that, I say with every stupid fucking thing you say, you create another flat earther.
They do, really.
Yeah. So
they do. Man, that dude did sound just like Idiocracy, the guy off of there. What, man? What?
What?
Was dying.
Why are you using words? Why are you using words? Are you a fag?
That's hilarious, man.
I know, man. It's like, oh my God. Oh yeah.
You know that idiot's probably watching us right now, and he's tore out of his frame.
No, I doubt he ever watches my channel. I doubt he watches me.
That wasn't even organic salad dressing. What's he doing?
No, and yeah, the fact that he had that fucking ready, that's something else. He's got it right there.
Oh, darn.
I love that. That's funny.
I don't know where these clowns come from, man, but yeah, they're definitely put out there. This whole thing, I truly believe that at this point, it's it's part of an intel op. It's all part of a psyop. It's damage control. And the more this grows away from that, the more desperate they seem. Like that thing by Simon Dan. Oh, well, most people don't even care. I went ahead and left the comments. If most people don't care, then why are you putting so much effort into it?
Amen.
Yeah.
You nailed it.
Yeah, he doesn't want people to care, it seems.
Yeah, he says, don't, it's more of don't bother looking at this,
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is just awful. Hear this tweet by some guy come out, and I got to show you this. This is fucked. So this is by somebody named Ed Baldwin. And he said, FTFE official, do you think this is enough dressing for at wits it gets its word salads? And he's got this big store display of word salad. See, they're fixated on that dumb shit. Yeah, look, here's even this dumbass. You remember this is another robot polisher video right here. This one right here. Yeah, what is this one? Let's see. Not understanding words is not equal to word salad. Kindly stop embarrassing yourself by publicly bragging about your inept vocabulary skills. That is all. Thank you. Robot polisher. And he's got another one on here. This is pretty good. Oh, I don't know if I can show this. This has got.
Oh, that's a rough part right there.
Yeah, that is. And yeah,
bad dude movie though.
Yeah, this is what movie is that?
Kingsman. The Kingsman, the first one.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw this, I think, on. Yeah, I don't want to risk this on YouTube. No.
Yeah, you'll definitely get
on here, and there's violence and shit, and they look for any reason they've got to fuck with me. They really do. So I'm not even going to invite them to that. This one right here.
Wouldn't be bad to get robot polisher on here one night and talk to him, see what he got to say.
Yeah, I'd like to reach out to him and get him on here. That would be great.
I'm sure he knows who you are because we're all in the same category.
Here's their desperation. This is their desperation, their level. This was FTFE put this out.
Oh, that guy, man.
It says Witsit putting out another flat Earth theory.
What a turd.
Yeah. He's really a creep.
He is a creep, bro. He is. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, we don't have, like I said, there's no debate anymore. Okay?
It's over. Globe's dead, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I fully, yeah.
Good. Here's part of that though in our favor or in the flat Earth favor. It really ain't our. I mean, you know what I'm getting at. But the people that were holding back because of all the flack they were going to get, the more it becomes popular, the more they're going to start shifting this way because most people that have looked at it, they know that it makes a lot more sense than what they can fathom about space. But now you guys, you can come on over. We took the beating. Just come on in. We don't beat them now.
Like when Dave said there's a bunch of people that don't care, right? No, I don't think that's that. I think that in that group of undecided or those that have not bothered, it's more of I'm going to see where the dust settles. Yep. There's a lot of those people. There's a lot of people that agree, but they're afraid to say anything because they don't want to lose some material thing. They don't want ridicule. They don't want to lose, and let's face it, a lot of people have lost their families, lost their jobs and shit for not capitulating to the earth being a globe. And I find that highly suspect too.
Very suspect.
When people, they get angry and I ask them, I say, why does that make you so angry? I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for you so that you'll know. Have you stopped and thought, why does that make me so angry?
Yeah.
Really? Because I already know why. I know why. I know why it's happening.
I'm with you.
Okay?
I know too.
So the reason that I'm asking is for your benefit, so you can understand why it makes you so angry. Because don't you think it's odd that out of all of the things that people might have different opinions on, something as simple as that would trigger an anger in you so deep that you would seethe? Come on.
True. I remember I was at the grocery store one time speaking to a youth. He was younger than me. He was working at the store, and I was telling him about the moon landing and flat Earth. And then a passerby, he overheard me, and he was like, "Oh, the Earth is not flat." And yeah, so he was angered. So you're right. It's like it's triggering. But I look at it like this, because I work in software. I've encountered viruses. When you try to remove it, it'll have in the code to reinstall if it notices it's been removed. So I think that's what the globe lie has. It has a type of lie with a self-defense mechanism, right? So
I had one of those.
Oh yeah.
And it kept, and here, you know how I got rid of it though?
I remember. Yes.
I disconnected from the internet.
Yeah.
Then I removed
yeah.
it. Then I rebooted. Then I connected to the internet.
Very smart.
If I was connected to the internet and removed it, it would automatically download it and install it again.
Oh.
So I just disconnected it from any source of communication and then took everything clean. And it was like, you can't call for help. Fuck you. I disconnected the phone line. I saw this. This is really cool. You guys, this is kind of not on topic, but it's pretty cool. Let's see, is that going? Yeah, okay.
Huh.
So they're doing this with, I don't see, is there any sound?
Is that water?
Yeah. And it's because they got a frequency. They're running a frequency on it and allowing it to bridge across like that.
Wow.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
That's why I say frequency is key to everything. It really is.
Absolutely.
Look at that. Look at that.
Look at that. That's phenomenal, man. Wow. That's something else right there, man.
I just thought that was neat. It doesn't have any sound. I don't know why.
Really don't need it. That's something good. I would blow it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna save that. Fuck yeah. I used to be able to download videos off Twitter, and now it won't download them anymore. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, my wife she was home all day today because it was Juneteenth. I forgot about that new made-up holiday.
What is Juneteenth?
It's got something to do with end of slavery or something, and that's another big psyop because they didn't end slavery; they just made everybody slaves.
That's exactly right. They shared it. It's what they did.
They fucking did. Right on.
The
trees were all kept equal by hatchet, axe, and saw.
Yep.
And the trees didn't have anything to fear from the hatchet, axe, and saw because after all, their handles were made out of wood.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, I like that. Yeah. That's good.
That's what these fuckers do. They go to school to pretend to be like us, but not be us. And therefore, you bring them in as you trust them. Look how many people have this. They have so much trust in this guy, Donald Trump, so much faith in this man that, I mean, anytime I'd ever seen him, I mean, I'm not one or the other, right? But I got to look at this guy. He's an actor, right? Remember when he's on that show, The Apprentice or whatever? He was just a dick. You know, you're fired.
Complete dick.
Yeah. So, you know, what is this cult of personality that we live in? You know, why do people accept that as their reality? We have these people that people worship. They call themselves stars. Yep. Why would they call themselves stars?
Enoch told you.
fallen angels, perhaps.
I believe DT is the one, the Antichrist, man.
You know, I've had that thought myself before,
Yep.
and
Well, I mean, he lines up. My teacher, a teacher of mine, he's on TikTok actually. He talks
I'm
about
listening.
the Bible. I'm sorry. What?
I'm listening. I'm gonna go make.
Oh, you're good. You're good. He talks about the Bible a lot, and he was talking about it, and that's the main forum he puts forth on his TikTok show, and he's counted it down to over 30 now. I don't know exactly how many, but when I first started listening to him, it was like 22 or 23 prophecies in which this man has completed or lived up to, however you want to, been a part of and fulfilled, if you will, in Revelation and Daniel, the book of Daniel. And I'm pretty sure it's like 30 something now, but I'm gonna stay with 25. 25 is enough. That's a phenomenal percentage of chance of actually fulfilling 25 out of there. And he's just, I mean, I'd have to look him up.
We know Israel crowned him Moshe, or gave him the Moshiach crown, right?
That's one of them. Yep, that's one of them, bro.
Now he's I don't think he was actually crowned, but I think he's going to bring to fruition the Moshiach, and that's why he's been given the crown. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem. I've heard it said that, he hasn't picked a running mate.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's what? Oh no, he hadn't picked one. Yeah, I'm barely hearing you, but I'm
okay.
digging.
So he a lot of people have speculated Jared Kushner.
Yeah, his son-in-law. Okay. I thought that myself, but
now,
yeah,
if we go down right there, is it possible that he's ushering in the idea of giving it to somebody? Because I think that Kushner does claim to be of the line of David.
Yeah, see, I could see it going either way there, honestly.
But see, this is I don't trust him. I don't trust any politician. I don't trust anybody that seeks power. Okay.
Well, he's just purely deceptive, man. He told everybody that he was going to clean the swamp up in 2016.
He filled it up with different monsters.
I mean, dude, what did he do? I didn't see him clean out none of the trash. I mean, Hillary went back to working, right? As
soon as he got in there, man, one of the big push things that got him in there was this: lock her up, up. Right? The crowds would chant that, lock her up, and they come. Then he wins the election, and people are like still chanting, lock her up at one of his rallies, and he's like, oh no, leave them alone. We don't care about that anymore. They're good people. Let's leave them alone. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. You know how many of us were hoping you'd put a fucking rope around that bitch's neck? For real?
That's the only thing left to do right there.
Because I mean, I thought, okay, this is it, right? Now it's like, as soon as he did that, I went, okay, motherfucker, you just played everybody, didn't you? You're good friends with these motherfuckers. You ain't got no intention of doing anything about anything.
Nope.
You're just gonna say again,
and tell everybody every time that he's going to, but he ain't gonna do nothing, dude.
So I don't. It's gonna be what they want it to be, regardless of you and me. Okay. And that's for real. That's for real. Because look, the last election, that's not that long ago. It was only 4 years ago. Did your vote count? No, absolutely not. Why? Because they obviously fucking cheated. Okay. They obviously fucking cheated. They've already cheated before all the time in elections. There's never been an honest election. And in any case, regardless of who you vote for, they're going to put in there who they want. So they put Joe Biden, knowing he was inept, in there for a reason. And this is why I think that Donald Trump was behind putting Joe Biden in the White House, and he was part of it. He was part of it. He didn't really make a big fuss about losing due to fucking crooked shit. He made a little bit of a fuss, but most of the people that made a fuss was everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay. So what the fuck? He even called the January 6 people terrorists and that they belonged in jail. I'm like, what the fuck? Those were your supporters, man.
Yeah, that's the ones he told he would meet down there. I heard that speech when he told them. He said, "I'll see you there. Go on and tell them your voice at the Capitol. Everybody go down there and whatever." Well, that's interesting because if he had him put in there, or he had a part of him being put in there, which is very, very likely. I mean, I'm on the same page with you, but knowing that he was going to be that inept and much of a joke and so forth and so on, that puts him coming back in the 4 years later, like this year, and swooping in like the hero,
like a knight,
man.
like a knight in shining armor, right?
Yeah, man.
Flying that big Israeli flag. See?
Yeah, man. You nailed it. That I can see that, bro.
Yeah. Look, I think that's exactly what's going on. Exactly. Because he sat there and he made these warnings. They tell you. He said, if Joe Biden wins, this is what's going to happen. And look, everything exactly like, see, I told you that's what would happen. Well, motherfucker, you know the cheat was in too. So what the hell?
Yep.
Come on, man. So this is a big psyop to make it look, it's a show. It definitely is a show. Okay. But this thing is people have to understand you're being fucking manipulated on a black magic level, man. A black magic level.
Yeah.
None of this shit is real. None of it. And the only thing that makes it real is people believing that it's real.
Yeah,
What you find out, it's like Tinkerbell, you know? If everybody stops believing, it goes away.
You got a good point there too, right? Yeah,
I think
as far as that goes, Dave, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get used to this camera the way I'm doing it. If I'm
You're all right. You're all right, man. It's all right.
But if everybody wanted to actually revolutionize America and everything, and I'm not talking about going down there and being violent, nothing like that.
Right? No.
Everyone would go to vote and stand outside and wait until no, I take it back. Just don't anybody go vote. That's going to reset a big stick right there.
Well, see, the thing is, when you vote, you're giving your consent for whatever comes about from it.
That's it right there. It's your fault if you went down there and told them it's working.
Yeah, you agreed. You gave consent. You signed it, man. It's your fucking deal. There it is. And so, this is what I say. All contracts are voluntary. Even if you don't realize you went ahead and volunteered into the contract, you did just by the very act of that. You've been told a million times that it comes down to not your vote, but ultimately to the Electoral College. Right? Yep. So regardless of what you put in the box, it don't make a fuck's worth of difference. That's just, okay, thank you guys for your opinion. We're now going to cast the ballots.
That's exactly what
So it's going to come about however they want. It's like, just sit back and watch the show. I know it's hard economically right now, but something's happening. God will prevail. That's the reality of it.
Amen, brother. And like you said, the giving the consent. Well, you're giving a consent that you believe in the system, like you think it still works when you do that. And that's why I say, I used to be just everybody quit voting, but now I'm like you. I hold them responsible. You're part of the reasons that this stuff keeps going around in these circles. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. We keep doing this, and that's my other point is like the word revolution. What does revolution mean? Let's think about the term RPM. What does that mean? Revolutions per minute. Right. Yeah. Okay. So it means to go around. It means to go around, to revolve, to go around and around. So what happens? Let's just put it in a little easy scenario. Okay. This little group of people comes about and they say, we promise to rule over and manage everything for you. and we promise to be benevolent and we will be honest and blah, blah, blah. And the people buy into it and they, okay, you do it. So after a little while, they operate pretty good, and then they start getting a little more corrupt, and pretty soon it results in a form of tyranny. And so the people get out their fucking pitchforks and their torches, and they down with the fucking tyrant, and they put him down, right? And then they go about doing what? Picking another group of men to rule over them. So it's like, wait. That would be like me going to the doctor and having him remove a cancer tumor and him asking me, what would you like me to replace that tumor with? And I say, another one. Put a different tumor in there. Just put a different tumor in there, And that's exactly what they go about doing. So we keep going around, and this cycle continues. And so they're again caught in a trap, caught in a circular trap. So I think the best way is to just have not revolt, not have a revolution, but to have a stop, a full-on fucking everybody hit the brakes.
Amen.
What would happen?
That's exactly what I believe. I think that's the only way to get it through people's heads. And I'm gonna,
Well, think about this. They come to you right off the bat. Hey, they make a big deal about it. Oh, you're going to be 18. You'll be allowed to vote. Oh, goody, right? They make a big deal about it. And, well, what's this voting all about? It's, well, you get to decide which one of these guys leads you or rules you. Oh, okay. Well, I'm the guy that's going, wait a second. What the fuck do you mean? Nobody asked me if I wanted one in the first place.
Amen.
Well, you just went right to asking me which one I wanted. Like, you just assumed I wanted somebody to fucking tell me what to do. Well, you were wrong.
Great point, Dave.
You just tell me what to do.
Said I didn't want one to begin with.
I have not found a need for one. It seems to me that the only thing they do is take more and more of your stuff, get us into conflicts with other fucking nations and countries and shit. They do this like the ritualistic sacrifice of the firstborn every so many years through the intergenerational chain and call it war. Meanwhile, profiting off of these deaths. Come on, man. This is, what do you think? The conquest is the prize in war? No, it's selling the fucking weapons for it.
That's exactly what.
That's where the
what was
money
that? There was a guy on a movie. I think it was actually called Lord of War with.
Yeah, he was an arms dealer. Yeah.
He hit the nail on the head, didn't he, brother?
Yes, sir. That's a great movie, man.
That's
a great movie. In my younger days, I looked a lot like Nicolas Cage. I had actually gotten mistaken as him, but then as I got older, it was like, okay, so I used to wear a headband more often, and I had more beard and mustache. You guys have probably seen me like that. And I swear to God, on several occasions, I've had people mistake me for Tommy Chong.
You could pull Tommy Chong easily, dude. You could do that and make like a Manhattan sideshow out of it. No kidding, dude.
I mean, that's
a cool thing, though.
I mean, these people in Vegas, this one time, my wife was cracking up. They were drunk. And I told them, I'm like, no, man, I'm not. In my glasses, I used to have round lens glasses, JLs, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, man, I'm not Tommy Chong, man. Really, I'm not. And they're going, oh, man, come on, fuck you. I know better. Here, get a picture with me. Hold on. And I was like, oh, my fucking God.
Oh, man, screw you. You're Tommy. Right. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's funny, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had a good time with that, man.
Man,
yeah. This whole fucking being it's an illusion to give you a feeling as though you have power, because wasn't that how that was described to you, like in your civics class? Like the right to vote was the people being in control of the government, right?
Yes, sir. That's what they told you.
It was not only your right, it was your duty.
Yep.
Right? They really push this shit forward, and that's because they require your consent.
Yeah. Well, they also said that's the only way you have a voice in this country. That's what they beat into our heads here. That's the way that you can be heard and things like that. And I believe that well, never really bit in on it. But I mean, I thought, well, okay. I went to vote one time,
Mm-hmm.
and that was 2004, I think. And that was I voted for George Bush like an idiot. I wasn't awake yet, so don't stone
I
me.
got you. Oh yeah.
But
we was
I went to
all
vote.
we was all in the web of the matrix, my man. We was all in there trapped up in shit at one time.
Oh yeah.
I know, right? But my kids now, they don't even. My son's 21. He said, "Can I vote now?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "But I'll go with you, and I'm gonna have you write my name in there." Or something like that.
Well, I've said, I used to joke around and say, if I ran for president, the very first thing, and if I ran for president and won, okay, the very first order of business would be an executive order abolishing the government.
Amen.
Then I would resign. And part of that executive order, of course, would be to not establish another one. Stop. Okay, just stop.
Right.
We've had enough of this shit. How long must we endure Rome? How long must we endure Rome? If anybody can tell me that DC is not Rome, it is not the centralized portion of power on 7 hills over all of us slaves, I defy any of you to say that it's not. I swear to God, even in the architecture. I wondered that the first trip I took to DC in 6th grade. I went there and I was like, what the fuck did they try to make this look like something over in ancient Europe?
Yeah.
What is this bullshit, man? Why do they want to look like Rome? Everybody immortalized in fucking marble statues, all these dickheads that were telling everybody what to fucking do, and they got them up there like there's some kind of big wig or some shit, you know? Yep. Giving you some con story about how they were wonderful for all the people and everything else, and they weren't. You look back through the whole history of the United States, man. You know what? You know what our national symbol should be? A fucking asshole.
You got a point.
I'm not kidding you, man. We've been dickheads from day one.
Yeah, really. Yep.
You know, and conning ourselves, swallowing our own propaganda to the point that people believe that we're the benevolent United States. Are you shitting me? Do you know how most people see us in the world? Like Darth Vader in the fucking Empire.
Yeah,
they hear the United States is coming and it's like dun 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 dun. They're like, fuck no. No, they don't look at us like that. You know, we are the only ones that look at ourselves like that.
Well, yeah, we are. Yeah. Well, I mean, they dupe people into thinking that too, like you say, like the whole Ukrainian thing. It's free Ukraine and whatever.
What do I give a fuck about Ukraine? What do I give a fuck about Ukraine?
I got a lot of problems here. I ain't worried about Ukraine, not in the least.
No shit. Listen,
I mean, I ain't going off on them. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, if my government's over there busy with some shit, then it means they're not here on my fucking problem. You know, that's not a real good way to look at it, though. But I mean, you know what I mean? I have more fear of my own government than I do of Russia or China or any other motherfuckers in the world, because the only people that have ever tried to fuck me up is my own government.
That's right. That's right.
Why would I have any kind of allegiance to that? Now, I love the people. I love my people. I love all the people in America, okay? I love all the people in the world, tell you the truth.
Yeah, man.
I wish they could get out of their fucking heads and realize that they're not Russians and Chinese and fucking Americans and Canadians and shit. We're just people.
That's right.
You know, this bullshit, that's how they con you into it. Oh, we're better. This American exceptionalism that we suffer from, thinking that we're great and everything else like that. Dude, we're at best a third world nation.
Yeah.
Have you seen some of the shit that's going on in the world? Look at Azerbaijan, man. Take a look at some of these fucking cities that are in Kazakhstan. They're phenomenal. Compare it to New York, which has got people sleeping in the fucking streets and shit. San Francisco, Los Angeles, any of your major cities in the United States right now, they're all just fucking shitholes.
Yeah, for real, man. I think what you nailed right there, the homeless in the streets, that should say a lot about our establishment.
Right.
I mean, that's unacceptable for the simple fact of we have people in government that, live in castles, man. I mean, literally.
Well, yes. How do you become a millionaire as a public servant?
Exactly. You shouldn't.
Yeah. And there it
But
comes right back down to my whole thing, man. Anybody that seeks power should be barred from having it.
right on. I agree with that. I'll be right behind
I mean, for real, what the fuck is your motivation? I know it's not benevolence.
you. Yeah, you're not going to help me. That's out.
No.
Yeah.
So the
People
more I
buy
see,
into the whole thing too much,
yeah,
man. They just think that, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even. Some people I stare at and think, how do you think? What's going on up there?
Oh,
You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'll see somebody, like, I'll be sitting out and I just kind of casually watch people and shit. And I'll see somebody like that and I'm like, I wonder what the fuck's going on in his mind right now. I mean, I wonder what he's even thinking about, because he'll just be standing there staring off, like eating something, like a cow or some. And I'm like, I wonder, is that guy even thinking about anything? I wonder, is he just there for scenery? I don't know.
I do that at Walmart. I'll see people, I go with my wife and my kid. We pick up the, weekly essentials, I guess you call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I see the same people. They look like, I don't see any. I ain't looking for worry either, but I don't see any concern on their faces about anything.
Yeah, they're like place fillers.
Yeah, it's just
okay. Here's something. Okay, so when the Holocaust hit, right?
Yeah.
All these places had to shut down, right?
Yeah.
And over that period of time, these people lost their jobs, basically, right?
You talking about the most recent one, 2020?
Yeah. The Holocaust.
Okay, I got you. Right on, brother.
So,
first time I heard that.
When all the businesses opened up, you saw all these help wanted signs for the longest time. You're still seeing them. People are having trouble getting people for employment and shit. What the fuck happened to the people that got laid off during that period of time? Why they didn't go back to work? No, where did they go?
Good point.
Were they like NPCs in the simulation that were just like erased?
Bro, Free Guy says a lot about our world.
Oh my God, I love that movie. I love that movie. I've seen it like 6 times, man.
Yeah, it's fantastic, bro. I love it.
You see a different level. You see a different level every time you watch it. And you go, oh wow, yeah, wow, that's in within it. God. Because when it comes down to it, if you look at the base of the story, two people that were just wanting to create something made this game engine that was going to be fantastic for everybody. The motivation was not money or anything. It was just going to be something really fucking cool, right?
Yeah, man.
But then it got co-opted by this douchebag.
Oh, it did.
And he gained control of it. Now, what's this story sounding like? What is this story like?
Yeah, reality.
The creators of this really cool game engine gave the authority and power to this douchebag, and he turned it into this awful world where it was bank robberies and just bad shit always. And then when they broke through that into the original engine, they found it was like paradise.
Yeah,
and they were united with all their friends. You saw that even in there too. So I saw that as like the creation, the fall, and then the revelation back into heaven.
Yeah, man. That's cool, man. I love that movie. I'll tell you what, if somebody was real curious about what we think of the average Joe on the street, it's the black guy that was working in the bank. I can't do that, man. I do this every day.
Yeah. It doesn't go with my programming. I'm not programmed to do that. It's
I can't
basically
think
what was
like
going
that.
on. Right.
Yeah.
That goes
And
against my programming. I can't do that.
we're definitely blue shirt guys. Me and you are at least.
Hey, is your VW, is that a Mandela affected VW or is it? It is. It's the one that's got the separator line.
Which one? Oh yeah, it's got a separator.
Yep.
So that's the one that the VW was together, right?
Yeah, it was together. Yeah.
Yep. This is an old shirt. Well, it ain't very old. Probably 6-7 years.
Listen,
So
they
it must have
changed.
been.
They
Huh?
changed. They changed on a microbus, a VW microbus that a friend of mine had, like a '69. He lives in a ghost town in Death Valley. Okay, just outside of Death Valley in this ghost town, and there's only 37 people live in this town. Now he's had Volkswagens his whole life. He has a Jetta that he drives around in, and he had this VW microbus sitting out there that he uses sometimes to go camping and shit, right?
Yeah.
So I was telling him about that Mandela effect, and he goes, well, I don't know, man. I've had Volkswagens my whole life. Let me check. I've never, it was like he was sort of taking the download. And he says, maybe they changed the logo. So we went out and we looked on his Jetta, and of course it had the separator line. And then we went out and he says, okay, well, he says, I know how to tell if they did that. He says, I know for sure that there's not a separator on this. We went out there and we looked at the hubcaps in the front of the microbus, and there was the separator line. He goes, no fucking way. No fucking way. He says,
Blew him away, did it?
I knew. No, he says, I know for a fact because I did a paper stencil with it one time. He says, I know better. And I said, so what's that mean? I said, that means that either those supernaturally changed or somebody snuck up here in the middle of the night when you weren't home and replaced everything with exact replicas, your hubcaps and the front label and everything with the exact same little smudges and rust marks and everything else like that, right? Come on.
Yeah.
What does the Occam's razor tell you, man? It points to the
most obvious, man.
Yeah. Brian Stavely calls them Mandela burglars. They're like this skilled group of burglars.
He's crazy, ain't he?
Because it's either got to be that or it is something going on, right? Reality is fluid, and it's like the Occam's razor. I mean, nobody's cameras, nobody's ring cam, nobody's woke up in the middle of the night and found these mysterious people replacing shit on their shelves and shit like that. It just doesn't happen.
Yep.
So
yeah, they would have to come into a. Well, wait a minute now. Hold up. Do you remember a movie called The Adjustment Bureau?
Yes, I love that movie.
That is some freaky stuff right there, bro.
Yeah, man.
Those dudes basically, and they even told him. He said, "What are you, an angel or something?" And they said, "Well, we're just called the Adjustment Bureau." But that he was basically agreeing that that's what they could do. You know what I'm saying? So we don't, I don't know. I don't think that that's the obvious that that's what happened, but I think that's an intriguing thought because you'd have to know what that movie's about to know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember that one guy. It was Matt Damon. He walked in on them doing it to the people in that office, had them froze and everything.
Yeah.
That freaked me out. I'm like, you don't never know if Satan's pals ain't done this crap.
Man, look, I can remember when I was in elementary school, I had to walk. I lived on the back side of the school, so a lot of the kids that went to the school didn't go that direction, so I had to walk a different direction. And I remember I'd be by myself a lot of times, and I can remember thinking, how do I even know that fucking school is even there until I get there? Maybe after I'm not there, it just doesn't exist. I can remember
it's different, Dave.
I mean, I was like, maybe none of that really exists. It only just shows up when I get near it, because I expect to see it.
Right.
Man,
it's a man. There's some profound thoughts.
See, that's I've always had this abstract thinking. I even one time I was cracking myself up because I just pictured, like, how when you see a house at night, there's shafts of light coming out of the windows from the lights inside, right?
Right.
What if during the daytime, man, you had shafts of darkness that were coming out of the fucking windows?
That's the yin and yang, man, and you never know, bro. I mean,
I was like, that's really bizarre thought, and I was like, yeah, turn on the dark.
Turn on the dark.
Yeah, turn on the dark.
That's pretty crazy.
Well, it's sort of like
I'm thinking
it's
about
like
it. I'm gonna watch
it's
that.
dark. That's assuming dark's the default position, right?
Yeah.
But
I gotta
what
help my son. He's handicapped. Hang on 1 minute.
The first thing that God created was what? Let there be light. Okay, so actually light's the default, so that would mean turn on the dark.
Yep. You got a good point. I'll be right back. Hang on 1 second.
All right, brother. All right. So yeah, man, it's let's see. I would watch it on a Fire Stick. What are you talking about with some movies? Oh, let's see. What does it say? Antarctica doesn't even render itself until you get there. That's why there's no edge. Yeah, right. It might just be an illusion. Might be an illusion. Like, remember in the Battle of the Planet of the Apes, like when they started getting close to where those evolved humans that lived in the mountain were, they had like this fire, an illusion of fire that came up, but it wasn't really fire.
I haven't watched the new one, or was that in the classic original?
Yeah, that's in the classic.
Okay.
They filmed that right there at Red Rock Canyon I think it's off of 395 in California. I've driven right by there, and when you see that scene, wherever that cameraman was, he had the highway right to his back.
Wow.
But they conveniently cut all that out so you don't see the highway.
Yeah, the Planet of the Apes, pretty interesting movie. Yeah.
That's to reify the evolution thing, see?
Yeah.
That's what it was. And I thought it was kind of interesting too, though, if you look at some of the little bit of subplot in there where Cornelius, his job was an archaeologist, right? And when he found, that evidence of humans in the forbidden zone, the moral or religious council, the orangutans, they didn't want to entertain that at all because it disrupted their entire story of how ape was created and this, that, and the other. And it was really, you could see that was a slam on the church towards evolution.
Yeah, I can see that.
That was the programming involved with that. It was, like I said, reifying the whole evolution, man come from monkeys or whatever.
It's time for a flat Earth movie. I think it would be totally epic, right?
Yeah, man, wouldn't it be cool? Okay, so why couldn't it would be a cool movie to make?
Okay.
And it would be to have one where the Earth is flat, right?
Yeah.
And it's along the lines of that one. What's that one called? The Iron Republic.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Okay, no, it was a book.
Okay.
And it's about this guy who found a passage through Antarctica. Yeah. And he went on and he was sailing out in the seas, going along, and he got approached by this ship of real modern design like he'd never seen. And these people said they were from the Iron Republic and they used to be from where he came from, and that he was now about as far as from the Antarctic as he would be from the United States to the Antarctic. So he was like way out there. And he was taken to this city that was something he'd never seen before. I mean, it's written as though it's a true story. But I think it would be really cool to have a movie where somebody goes beyond the ice, find another civilization, and the story plot could be that, we got away from that crazy shit a long time ago. And that's why we have forced your governments to comply with not coming any further south.
Wow. I've read people's talked about that. I'm sorry, when I had to run off like that, my son's handicapped. He can't get up out of bed.
Gotcha.
So, I ain't trying to run off on you or nothing like that,
You're
but
all
I
right.
appreciate you being understanding. But anyway, the Iron Republic, I've heard of that, and I tried to listen to it on YouTube one time while I was
there's the
doing stuff
audio
around.
of it. Yeah. There's an audio of it. Yeah.
I didn't make it as far as what you said there. Now, when he went on in to you said about as far as America to the other one, that sounds a lot like Bird talking about from America's size. It's kind of relative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of. I think I'll listen to that. Matter of fact,
that would be a great story. That would be an epic movie, man.
Oh man, that'd be freaking epic, bro.
And even have it to the point where he decides after living there for a long time, and then when he gets old, he wants to go ahead and come back, but they make him agree that he can't talk about it, and he comes back to where he once lived, and finally has his last days and dies there, being the only one that knows his story.
I would like that. I would watch that probably over and over.
Ain't that crazy? I just came up with that too.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Dave. No doubt, bro. I tell you,
man.
well, it makes me wonder if there ain't some cats like that. You know what I'm saying? Here's the thing about Masons too. I was going to tell you a while back, but I didn't come up because I had a lot to do or whatever. But anyway, see, I started to join the guys, right? And something just kept like getting in the way of me doing my first and all that stuff. What I'm getting at is it just didn't seem like it was for me. And I was really interested in learning this stuff. And I'd already learned, a good bit. This is before I went to Flat Earth. And well, actually it was right along the same time because I understood what we were doing, you know what I'm saying? And what they were going to teach me should have been all of it and everything. But Manly P. Hall also said that they keep the greater knowledge for the higher initiates.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go all the way through this thing, basically, is what we've learned, us, men like you, before you get the big bomb drops, shell drop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think, like my grandfather being one, he never would tell me what degree, but I knew he was a master mason, and that's a 3rd degree. So I know he made it to the Scottish Rite, which would be, possibly 32nd, because very rarely you get a 33rd and all that. That's an honorary thing and all this crap. But when he dropped that on me in the car about it, just remember what I'm saying, Kev. It's flat as it is round. I mean, he literally kept his oaths right there, but he just because he just said something random that I needed to pay attention to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So them older guys, they didn't break those oaths because that was serious to them. I know you came up around some too, probably, and
oh yeah,
it was always intriguing. Things like that was.
Well, I don't know. My grandfather may have been one. I don't know. I remember hearing him talk about it and friends of his that were in Masons or something. But I don't recall a whole lot about that at the time. It didn't register as anything significant to me at the time. I just recall the talking about it, and I can't really recall what was being talked about it. Just other than the fact that so-and-so was in this lodge, or it might even been somebody kept trying to get him to go into a lodge.
Okay.
Back, but no, I just now I know that back a couple generations, those guys absolutely were. They're all buried in a Masonic cemetery in Illinois, and like my great grandfather, is that what the guy?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, it would have been my great grandfather who he fought in the Civil War, and he was in an Illinois brigade that was at the Hornet's Nest in Shiloh, and he was wounded in the left deltoid and lost the use of his left arm for the rest of his life.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't know. That's all. That stuff I dug up, you see, and not stories that I heard passed down. But I through my genealogy, I'm looking, and he's got the compass and shit on his gravestone, and I suppose he was in.
Well, I said that to say, huh?
Oh, go ahead.
No. Well, I went all the way into that about the Mason thing because if you know any, which I think you do, they come up with this, I'm a traveling man. And when I asked about that, when I was in, I said, so what do I need to do? Am I going to get to go down to Egypt and look at the pyramids and stuff? Dude told me, he said, don't even worry about none of that right yet. You got to do some traveling. So I think that, you're under an oath of, life threatening oath, is what I'm saying. And I think a lot of them's been. I think they've been shown, and the penalty's death for some of them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you? I mean, I don't know. I believe we walk around people that knows this every day, whether it be two in a town or whatever.
Well,
You know
I'm
what
not
I'm
a big fan. I'm not a big fan of you have to agree to this or you don't get to see what's in the mystery box.
Me neither.
Okay? I ain't a big fan of that shit at all.
Yeah, man.
And if it's something that's that shaky, that's so much that I would have to swear my life on it. No, it's not. No.
Yep.
If I need to know this, I will find it out. Okay. I don't.
That's the route I went in and did myself. I just didn't go threw my petition away. It does make me wonder, though. I bet that
they're too involved. They're too involved with worldly things.
Oh yeah, they're evil as crap because they got to be. I mean, for what they're like you said, they're involved with people.
Not all of them. I mean, you got to understand that the regular Joe Blow that's in that shit isn't really, malevolent or benevolent or they're just people. Okay.
Well, yeah,
but
they're just.
What I'm saying is that their whole organization, to me, seems to be focused on worldly affairs.
Yeah,
which means that you are of the world and not in the world.
Yeah, I feel you. Yep. Yeah, they're really dead set on taking.
That's why I've got control. A problem. That's why I've got a problem with a pastor who obtained his wealth through the sinful act of usury and wants to talk about Jesus, who beat the hell out of the fucking bankers and shit for committing usury in the temple. Come on, man.
Who was that?
Jesus. You went in there and whipped all them fuckers' asses in the temple, man.
Yeah, no, I like that part. What'd you say?
Yeah, well, that was for usury.
Yeah.
Interest and shit. See, that's a sin.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Jesus knew what was up, man.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to engage in usury. That's a sin. And
right.
That's exactly how this guy came to his fortune. Or so it is said. Okay? So it is said. But we have
talking about the final experiment guy, right?
Yeah. He was He was a Forbes member.
Wow.
But no longer, and it's like they're trying to scrub his existence back from the net.
Huh.
So there's some sketchy shit. I'm like looking into everything about this because, like I said, my gut tells me there's a rat in the cheese, and I'm going to find the fucking rat. I've already seen a couple rat turds, so I know there can't be a rat far.
That's right, brother. It can't be far. Yeah, man. I really hope that Austin don't go, and I heard Jaron was going to go. I think I don't know, but I don't think they're going to go. I hope they don't because I'm to the theme of what we were talking about when you first got on, or when I first got on here.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I mean, they could disappear, and what would we be able to say? Nothing.
No.
I mean, they fell overboard. That'd have been it.
Evening, gentlemen. Again, how y'all doing?
All right,
Hey,
Raj. Caught us just as I'm getting ready to shut down here in about another 7 minutes, man.
I had to talk to my brother from North Carolina some more.
Nice.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
When I was a young man, I used to go up on top of Crowder's Mountain and Kings Mountain and get high and go rock climbing. And that's what I did for my youth.
Amen, brother. We went up to Buzzard's Roost, bro. You know where that's at, don't you?
No, I never heard of it. No.
It was right down from Crowder's. It was just like a private little old backyard mountain.
I know what you're talking about now. Yeah. Is it near Henry Cobb over there on the Brown Mountains?
No, it ain't that way. No, you talking about Henry's Knob stuff. Yeah. That's motorcycle heaven back in the 80s, bro.
Oh, yeah. I've been up to Henry's Knob a couple of times.
Yeah, man. They closed that thing. They closed it down and made it illegal for people to get in there. And some people still snuck in there, you know.
Yeah.
I never did again because I basically had a wife and kids at that time. So I just, you know.
I'm trying to run my head that they got Crowder's and Kings. They bridge across, and over, what was it? East of there was Spencer's Mountain. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, it's over in Gastonia. Now, that's big money field right there.
Oh yeah, that was my backyard right there for most of my teenage years. Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'll tell you what.
My aunt used to run Auto Bell car washes over that way.
Who did?
My uncle Don Elliott. He used to be the manager of most of those Auto Bell car washes all throughout there.
Really? He was the main manager or something, branch manager?
Yeah, he just did mostly supplies and stuff, but he would help manage with the girls that run the office and stuff. He'd help bring in people for him. And then people come and go get their job for the kids doing car washing and making good tips that way. It was a decent living. Yeah, that's how I made money as a kid.
Amen.
I miss Carolinas, man. It's just I'm in Denver right now. I'm the little guy who went over to Duffy's church up here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Roger. Roger went there.
Wow, really?
You need to try to go back and see. I gotta see if this thing's ever open, man.
Oh, you the one went and seen it closed, Roger.
Yeah,
Roger?
I did.
Okay, so here's something you could do too, Roger.
Okay.
Get with Greg Brayton. He's in here too, I think still.
Greg in here?
I think he is. If he's not, he'll be, sometime soon. You will see him in another stream even. Well, he's in Colorado. So's Jehovah's daughter Barbara is in Colorado as well. What would be wild to do is maybe just kind of
meet up there.
Maybe knock on some doors on some neighbors around the church and ask them. Do you ever see this place in services, or do you know when the services at this church are? And see if anybody's, actually seen it. Is it actually a functioning, operating church, or is it just kind of a front?
Yeah.
They
had a grass cut. Yeah, they had it all nice and neat. They looked like there was people going there at some point in time.
Yeah.
But I didn't see hiding her hair or nobody on that Thursday night. And they advertised the 8:00 services, and there's nobody to be seen. I waited there 20 minutes after that, and nobody ever showed up.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't see a billionaire having a church that small and that dinky, unless he's listening.
Well,
it is just a front.
It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, man, I smell a rat in the cheese, and I'm going to find a rat because I've seen rat turds already. And
well, he reminds me of a used car salesman, man. He just does.
Yeah.
He just got that vibe.
That's a slimy vibe, bro.
I mean, I can't really say that he was a great guest. He was, I mean, he comes off as real nice and everything, but there again, I got my inner discernment that I use as well.
It takes
time. I might not say anything at the time, but you better bet your life I am evaluating.
That's right. That's right.
I'm always am. Well, listen, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming on tonight.
And what was your name again? I didn't catch it. Your name?
That's
my
Kevin.
name. Kevin Barber. I'm sorry.
Kevin.
Kevin. It's fantastic to meet you. Is that Roger? You said?
Yeah. I'm a Leadwell. My family helped build Arcloth little city out that way, and the Elliott family on the other side.
Well, I'll be back on another night, and that way me and you have time to talk.
You know where Woodlawn is?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I went to Scouts there. I went to the Baptist church, went to Troop 247. Jungle Jim is the boy who used to run that, and he used to drag Independence Boulevard in Charlotte every Saturday night to paint clips.
Yeah, man.
He took a TR7 and put a 350 in it, and he dragged boys. He pulled up beside it with a convertible. The little
shoot.
Oh yeah.
So I'll tell you what, you guys can continue talking after I shut down the show.
Sorry, Dave. I was just moving. Dave, it's been a fantastic experience, man, and I really appreciate this. And I'll be back on again if that's all right with you.
Well, I'll leave you anyways.
Fine and dandy with me, Kevin, anytime. John, it was good having you on as well. Roger, have a great evening. I'll see you next time as well. And
love you, Roger. Love y'all guys.
All right.
Love you guys. Stay strong.
Don't forget, Lord loves the working man. Don't trust Whitey. And see a doctor and get rid of his ass because he'll probably kill you. Good night, everybody.